just press things.
I'm not usually in charge of the
one
buttons,
time.
okay?
I'm
Oh
not
my
the button
gosh.
presser.
Hello, everyone. I already see some people in the comments.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. How are we doing?
How are we feeling?
Are we
Are everyone being so normal?
Are we
I have very
so
normal
right
feelings.
now?
Many normal feelings.
We're so unwell right now.
I
Truly.
did not almost eat both of my hands.
No, and you totally won't see that in the reaction.
Trying to get through that episode because wow.
No.
Every
No.
episode is
Demon
more
Santini
heterosexual.
is here
Hello,
on TikTok.
Vera.
Hello. Vera!
Hi, Vera.
Hi,
Vera says plot device. So true. So true.
Plot devices,
Hi, Leo. Hi,
devising
Sammy.
plot.
Hi,
Listen,
EJ.
we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I think we wanted to start off just giving Aisha some flowers because
Hi, Audrey.
production
Yes.
completely left my fucking brain because we started out with Buck right away and brain cells gone. But anyway,
which is kind of a good thing. Like when we're
yeah. Rachel's on a
Oh, am I
cruise, by the
delayed?
way. So if she's delayed, that's why.
Great.
Rachel's
Just
a little
keep talking.
delayed. No, Aisha did. No, it was phenomenal.
If you didn't realize,
she did a fantastic job. It was.
I think what Rachel was trying to say is when things are
Vera, where
that
did
good
he
that you're
call-
so immersed in it, that's how you
What did
know
he
that
call-
all of the production is like top notch. It seems there are problems with my live quality. Learn how to improve it.
Vera, when did
That's exactly what I was
Tommy?
trying to say.
I mean,
thank you.
when did he also call Tommy Eddie?
What?
Whenever you get the chance, answer
you
that
miss that?
question at Vera.
I don't.
Wait, did he?
I don't
When?
remember him calling
Because like
Tommy
we went back
Eddie.
and we watched it, but like
Which scene? Hi, Brett.
in the morning after.
I
in the
don't think he
kitchen?
called him
No, I think Tommy would have clocked the fuck out
Oh.
of that.
Audrey
No,
says,
and we
apparently he
rewatched
said,
that scene.
Wait, hey," but it did sound a little like Eddie.
And
And then EJ is like, no, he said Eddie.
I mean, I'll wait to rewatch it to like call it. But is
Shadow's
it supposed
looking.
is it supposed to be in the
We've
breakfast
got
scene?
our
Tim said in an interview that Buck didn't call him back.
think
I
so.
know that's right.
right.
Oh man.
No, I don't think Buck called
Obviously.
Tommy Eddie in
that was implied.
in the breakfast scene. I think the whole implication was that Tommy was willing to give Buck another chance because Eddie wasn't
Eddie was gone
in the picture anymore. That kind of sort of whole other thing where Buck doesn't have to sleep with everyone he has feelings for.
So interesting.
So interesting. And doesn't have to sleep. He doesn't have to have feelings for everyone he sleeps with. Tommy.
That was such. I mean, like
That was insane. That was
that was
insane work.
incredible. But
Apropos
like
of nothing, right?
I think it just was so good for me because of how low key biphobic Tommy's character has been. So for Buck to not only do so much, do the most with that line, but like that line is so good to just be like, I don't have to have feelings for everyone I sleep with, and I don't have to want to sleep with everyone I have feelings. But like, I just because
it
I'm
is
not
so
yeah
pro bisexual stance too, because like you like I don't mean to step on you when you're talking about your
me
own
a bisexual.
experience. You the bisexual, a bisexual, but
Vera said, Vera just rewatched it, said it was, hey, wait, but it sounded like, oh, I mean, you know, it's like one of those, the something Laurel and the other one.
Yeah.
One of those. I'm happy to headcanon it the other way, but oh my god.
Yeah, we were talking about this while we were live reacting or right after we live reacted.
Yanni, thank you.
We were saying that like I or maybe it was just me. I don't think, because like I didn't know the leaks, because Syl saved me. Syl was like, don't go on the internet.
Syl and I knew.
For the next
Syl
2
and
days.
I heard.
But what the fuck was I trying to say?
I was Jon Snow.
Oh my god. What was I just talking about, guys?
That you didn't know the leaks, so you went into it like completely blind.
Oh, right. So like Buck, because Buck doesn't like know how he feels, and he's denying it, especially because he's convinced Eddie's straight, and that's why he won't even consider it. I don't think that there's a way that he would accidentally call someone a romantic interest Eddie without him having that closer to the surface. So like, I think that if I had read that leak, I would have been
we're
like,
also getting
I believe all
confirmation
of
that
it.
the captions.
Also, how many times?
Yeah, the captions say, "Hey, wait."
Hey, wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times did Buck say Eddie's straight in this episode?
So many.
Because there's definitely more than once.
So many. So interesting.
And his insistence that Eddie is straight, and Eddie's insistence that he is straight in Confessions in 806. It's like, and then Tommy's like scoff and okay after it's like gay clocked gay.
Yeah.
And I feel like that one word with the scoff and okay confirmed that A, Eddie is not straight.
Yep.
B, Tommy was 100% going for Eddie before he was ever going for Buck.
Yep.
Because that man was whining and dining the shit out of it. And then C, that Buddy canon is absolutely coming because all of these things are making my brain melt. And like my husband, who is not a shipper, he is a casual viewer, and that he watches 911 when it's on the TV
against his will.
Against his will. He watches the show against his will. He hears my fan theories 100% against his will. 2 nights ago, he watched 810, and he was like, "That is the gayest shit I have ever seen in my entire life."
What, he doesn't say goodbye to his friends like that?
No. And the thing is I fell asleep while we were rewatching. So I fell asleep long before, like I fell asleep before the throat slit, all of that, because I was done. The next morning, he decided to tell me that scene was the gayest thing.
It stuck with him. It made an impression.
It stuck with him overnight. And he was just like,
my God.
That shit was so gay. And this is a man who, bless his heart, humped his best friend's ass at the bar earlier today because it's March Madness. So
I really hope your husband watches this live stream.
It's okay. He
Hi,
doesn't
Marty.
care. It's a thing he did. He is
shout out Marty.
He's been at the bar for over 12 hours, so he's feeling really, really good. He's doing magic tricks for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's how I left him.
Everyone on YouTube is saying like how Tommy absolutely like knows, and the implication confirmation that that he thinks that Eddie is the last.
Yes,
Tommy talked it months ago.
We already knew that. This was confirmation.
We knew this.
It's in our plot device episode.
This was my favorite.
Please listen to plot device.
This is my favorite Tommy.
I think everybody here has listened to plot device.
This is my favorite Tommy episode
because I think it's gonna be his last one for one.
I don't think he's coming back after this.
I enjoyed some of the hot little like
performance,
busting into the room and making out and stuff like that. I was like,
that was the most chemistry they ever had, actually.
The most, and we couldn't see either of their faces, so who knows who was who. But it was my favorite because that was the most real I feel like Tommy as a character has ever been, and it's still because he's a plot device, literally there to make Buck realize that he has feelings for Eddie. And Buck, he said that he has feelings for Eddie, even though I don't think Buck realizes and internalized what he said. He was like, I don't have to sleep with everybody I have feelings for. Yoink, yoink, yoink.
Just
yoink.
Buck
I'm sorry.
Only he.
Only he.
I'm sorry. Buck. I think Buck is the only one who
did anyone else say that?
Say what?
Maddie did too. And like, just nobody, just like in the last episode or in 809 where Eddie was like, no one, like, if you're asking me to choose between you and my son, nobody was asking him to choose between Buck and Chris. Just like nobody's saying
that was your own internalized
feelings for Eddie. That's projecting.
Because Tommy didn't say you have feelings for him. He said there's he called him the competition.
Yeah, which
could mean, honestly,
competing, and I'm going to put devil's advocate
here. Totally like devil's advocate. Just competition could mean competition for like, well, his attention, but like his time, and you know, like any love interest that comes in would have to compete with the best friend for like that attention and time.
I'm gonna
but
disagree.
That's not how he meant it.
Yeah, because like
that's actually not how it works with platonic friendships.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
I have to agree that I've never had a romantic partner who felt my friendships were a competition unless there was also romantic feelings between me and that friend.
Exactly.
Like that, like
exactly.
Nothing has convinced me about,
but like
Buddy
Buck
and Game more.
Think that and
yeah, well, Buck is stupid. I love him so much. He's an idiot. Nothing as a viewer will convince me more that Buddy is. Of course, it's affectionate. I love that man like my child.
Yeah.
Nothing convinces me of Buddy more than that scene with Tommy, where Tommy talks about Eddie as competition, where Tommy scoffs at the idea that Eddie is straight. Like that, and that's more that like that's straight out of fanfic.
He's not even there to defend himself.
All of this is out of fan fiction, but literally the scoff after Buck says Eddie is straight and Tommy says okay, not like you're right or okay, no, but just like okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, Sil say like, the thing that you mentioned earlier about confirming.
Oh, right. So So I mean, that whole interaction, the whole and the scoff, like, I mean, what that basically also confirms is that man knew, like, had his gaydar was off. I mean, was on, I guess, about
bing,
Eddie.
Bing, bing, bing,
yes,
bing,
he was
yes,
after
yes,
Eddie.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
he was like basically courting Eddie.
Yes.
And then like, I don't know. I guess he was just like, okay, there's too much going on here, and then like Buck was just there. So it's it proves our like this whole theory about like he was after Eddie first,
and they did that without saying any words. They confirmed it.
It broke my heart so much the more you think about it, because when you think about how he was trying to romance Eddie with all of like the Vegas trips.
Oh, and he didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything for Buck.
6 months.
And it makes me so sad because Buck, bless his heart, was so desperate for love and so desperate for acceptance. And Tommy didn't see this Tommy didn't see this and think, this is someone that I need to show is worthy of all of this love without having to do anything. He was like, this is a person that I have to do the bare minimum with and he'll be happy.
He always went into it knowing that it was gonna just be a fling for him because he knew the Buck Eddie thing was the Buck Eddie thing.
And so in his defense, he probably never thought it was going to be a serious situation. Like he probably thought that he was there for Buck to play around with until he realized
even though Buck told him that he wanted it to be.
I mean, later.
Hold on though, like because we have a perfect mirror here. We have a perfect mirror because
I love the random cruise ship.
I'm so sorry, guys. Okay,
talking.
Would they like to guest star and talk about the yaoi? Would they like to get in on the conversation?
No, I'm trying to.
Maybe you'll find some 911 fans that are actually upset.
Maybe
they're not watching the episode.
Spread the gospel.
That's how I spent the whole afternoon.
Okay, no, but what I what I was trying to say is we kind of have like a perfect mirror how like Tommy is with Buck because Buck was just there. Well, it's the reverse now because Eddie's gone. So, and who was just there? It was Tommy. So Buck is using him in the same exact way that he was being used previously, and it's because plot device. And also, hold on, let me. Sarah Louise asked if do you think they're right? Sarah Louise asked, do you think they're testing the waters for Buddie, and we'll only get hints this season, and them together in season 9?
They're not testing the waters
because they focused. No, hold on. Because they focused on Buck saying Eddie's straight, maybe a network thing. No, they've absolutely greenlit that, and this is why they're going so hard for it. This is introducing it very obviously for the general audience.
I think they were testing the waters in season 7 when they introduced Buck's bisexuality as part of canon. I feel like that's when they really were testing the waters. I think that a lot of the dynamics are put in there long before season 7. I fully believe that season 4 was supposed to be them
the
starting
original
their
start of it
canon relationship, not them being canon in season 4, but that
but like the feelings, realizations, and all that stuff. No, that's confirmed by Oliver
and Tim, if I recall.
And
correctly.
Tim, I think yes, and Tim. But no, I don't think they were even testing the waters.
And I don't think Lou.
I don't think that they.
I think they kind of decided this is what they're gonna do
exactly.
And if people don't like it,
I don't think that they would have even done the by Buck storyline without doing this, because why would they want to play out a like unrequited storyline?
Why would they make by Buck by if the love of his
and
life?
That's not to say that the characters can't be gay without each other. I'm just talking like narratively.
Oh, of course.
There's no other way to. I'm just saying this for other people. I know you guys know. I'm just for any straight people.
Okay, sorry.
We're not tying their sexualities to each other. We're just saying that, like, narratively speaking, like people in production, I don't think they would have gone near one without the end game being like greenlit.
And that was really important to Oliver in particular to not do that queer baiting and to not do the storyline of just like, I found out I'm queer and I'm automatically in love with my best friend. And I think that they're actually handling it really, really well of Buck's realization that he's not like automatically in love with his best friend because he's bisexual, but him realizing that a lot of these feelings of jealousy and insecurity and fear about his best friend are more than just being about his best friend, because let's face it, Buck never really had a friend before. Like Eddie, beyond being
he doesn't know what normal is.
Yeah, beyond being his like love, the love of his life, Eddie is also his first real friend. And the fear of messing up and the confusion of those feelings, I think they're doing such a good job.
Yeah,
honestly, with Buck, I cannot see how they do it.
He is fighting that.
Fucking die. I like collapse. I slid out of my chair.
Meg has been here for 7 years, so she's more unwell than the rest of us.
Meg has
been waiting for so long.
I had been in the trenches. Okay, I started watching the show in the pilot, and I have been in the trenches since that man took his shirt off to What a Man.
Rock on TikTok.
Rock,
I've been here for 7 years too.
Rock, I feel you. You and I, we're in the same.
You guys are strong soldiers.
Same lifeboat.
And I can't believe that we're here.
Me either. Honestly, if someone had told me 7 years ago that this was even a possibility, I would never have believed it. But I genuinely, and I'm not an optimistic person.
They said I'm so emotional right now. I've been crying.
Same. No, like same. I feel that so much. Had someone come and told me 7 years ago that this was a thing that was actually not even just possible but probable.
Didn't you say you almost gave up in season 6?
I did.
Yeah,
I
understand. When was it the finale?
yes.
Yeah.
When
I might have.
I understand that. Yeah.
Buck got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And they had that moment with his coma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, okay, bro. Like, we met this girl who is a death doula, and I saw this chick in hardware. Like, it just, and that was after like season 5, which was pretty dearth of Buddy. And like, I knew that Tim had left, and I knew that this new showrunner was really like anti-Buddy and trying to kill that vibe.
I don't even think they were. I think the network was, and they just had to play the game.
No, Fox 100% was. I didn't care. I didn't care who was doing what or anything like that.
Yeah,
they were really killing the dynamic that made
that's
the
so
show
funny.
So
like they had
to
to forcefully separate them, like during the.
Well, and I started watching the show before Eddie was ever on the show. Like, I enjoyed the dynamic of the show before Eddie was ever a part of it. But then he became, and his and Buck's relationship became such an integral part of the show that the idea that not only, like, not even that they wouldn't be together, but that we wouldn't see their friendship anymore.
Yeah. I think what's really funny about them, like, having the distance is that, like, some of the gayest
Rod, I'm so sorry.
Eddie scenes are in seasons 5 and 6. So I don't know if that was like writers just being like, this is consistent for who they are as people. Or if
I
they
feel
were
like that's Oliver and Ryan.
It's just like the natural chemistry between them.
Yeah, for sure. And Rock, I agree. You don't have to sleep with everyone that you have feelings for. And what Buck, what were you saying? What?
I'm gonna need you to repeat that back to yourself.
Nobody said that to him.
No, but
the way we were watching, and we all were just kind of like, what? Huh? What?
We rewound. We had to go back, rewound, and rewatched that scene like twice.
Literally, nobody said you had feelings for Eddie. What? And like, again, I almost ate my whole hand. Like, I was shoving my fingers in my own mouth to try.
I don't even know what I was doing. I was unaware that I had a body.
It was ridiculous.
And like, no. I couldn't. So like, we don't normally. Well, I'm leaving Meg out of this. Well, the three of us don't normally talk a ton, like during our initial watch.
I try not to, but
that wasn't a dig. It wasn't a dig. But like, we literally
and
shut the fuck up because we were like, parallel. Oh my god, another one. It was like getting smacked in the fucking face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys talked a lot.
Like, we did.
Yeah,
that was because we couldn't shut up because there was just so many layers of shit.
No, I was taking my lead from them. Initially, I was like, hey, you can mute me, you can shut off my camera. Can I just watch the episode through your stream? Because my local channels are showing
sports ball.
High school boys
Buck's favorite sport.
High school boys basketball. And I don't think I can handle having to wait again like I had to do last week. And then I was like, oh no, we'll have you live stream. And I was like, oh fuck.
Rock said, I noticed that the second half of the season in every episode has something to do with Buddy. Yes, we are in the Buddy. As Sil said, we are in the Buddy half of the season. And if you haven't yet, go listen to our episode that came out today that covers episodes 9 and 10. Because we get into
9 and 10.
Yes.
It's like the buddiest episode.
Yes. Yet. Oh, sorry, delay. I was like, why did you just repeat exactly what I said? We're fine. Go watch or go listen to it.
I'm sorry, guys.
There's a lot of, it's okay. There's just a lot of stuff that like is going to continue to like, I think parallel, not just like again and again, but like it's going to expand even more from there. Insane. Also, everything that happened in this episode.
And also,
go ahead.
She's on a cruise. She's having a hard time getting her.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know where I am in the delay. I'm on my own 911 Dr. Odyssey crossover. It is a little bit of a struggle. No, I was just going to say, like, the fact that we got so many parallels, both in the text and visually, with Aisha directing. Like, she gets it, first of all, and that just shows like such strong like writing and directing and crew team. Like
it was so
because
good
because it was seamless, right?
Honestly, from the previews, I can't believe how little Bobby and his mom was really a part of the episode from what we got for our previews.
Yeah.
Also, Evan, I'm glad you took your anxiety meds because I feel that.
Is that Morgan?
Yeah.
Evan Cuntley.
Did she change her? Is that
I don't know.
I can't tell. I can't tell from how tiny that is.
Oh, yeah. I agree though. Buck talking about Eddie
said
Morgan. Okay. Hi, Morgan.
Bobby at all.
Yeah.
Oh my
but
God.
I will say I think Bobby actually mentioned Eddie more than Buck this episode.
Well, it's because it's
At
like
the beginning.
gunshot after gunshot after gunshot to
Buck
like,
and
Buck's
Buck and
heart.
Eddie. I mean Ravi. I mean Buck and Eddie.
Oh my God.
Even Buck had to be
That
like,
was-
it's fucking Ravi. I'm like,
That's a dad who just lost his favorite child, which is
right?
the significant other of their oldest.
yeah, exactly. The favorite child was
son-in-law.
always the in-law.
Yes,
first
of their
in-law.
oldest kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, speaking
Yeah.
of Aisha, we whenever we get the chance, we got to read like her interview because she does address the fact that she had to direct all of that.
Oh my God.
And
I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's a lot for a first-time director too.
Yeah. She did
that's
such a phenomenal job.
There's a quote,
and
that I
I'm
saw
so actually it's
that-
so go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say like there's a quote about how like she actually did feel pressure to deliver.
Well, yeah, I'm
especially,
sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean-
especially because of her friendship with Oliver and Ryan.
Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say it's so sweet that like Oliver got to be directed like by his best friend for these really like emotional scenes for Buck. Like that's just really sweet to me.
She did such an incredible
They had
job.
to cut Maddie mentioning Abby. It's crazy when we do live streams and don't read the articles because we're just like getting hit with strays with the quotes because we
Listen, I'm on the
Also,
ground.
Leo-
I'm trying.
I know.
Morgan,
what else do we need to know? Quick. Give us the bullet points. What else came out in interviews?
Leo also said, did anyone catch how Buck helped that woman climb down from the cross that paralleled the roller coaster rescue from season 1?
Yes. We were yelling about it. We were scared that they were
about that. We were like,
I was
crashing
so
out for
scared.
very, very
yeah,
bad
like
reasons.
the dialogue that he had was like almost verbatim, I think.
I was so scared.
Morgan
And
said,
it also reminded me so much of season 2, episode 6, Ghost,
yeah.
like with Bobby.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Rock, yeah, I agree. It was interesting how much Buck kept saying Eddie is straight.
It's
Buck has said
interesting.
Eddie is straight more than Eddie has ever said.
The only
he is
two
straight.
people who think Eddie is straight are
Buck and Eddie.
And Eddie.
No one else. Like, I feel like if Hen had heard Buck say Eddie is straight, she would have the same reaction as Tommy.
She would have had one of her.
She would have had a moment.
The side
She
eye,
would have 100% clocked it.
Yeah. And Morgan did say that that Tim confirmed Buck didn't call tuberculosis, which someone told us earlier, but I just appreciate that you called him tuberculosis. We can call him Tommy for like
because he has to
full
embrace
week now
being
because he
alone.
earned that shit. Plot
He did.
devising.
You know what? Tommy
Yeah.
devised the plot, and that was a great thing that he did.
That was a beautiful
good
end
job,
to
Tommy.
the utilization of him as a plot
And
device, and I can't wait to make like an addendum to our plot device.
Well, and the
episode.
thing
Oh my
is
God.
the thing is like shipping aside and everything like that, it really was a wonderful kind of moment for this relationship for Buck to have that closure and for Buck to realize not only like Tommy dumped him really prematurely in a really kind of shitty way,
in a biphobic way.
From Buck's perspective, and you can kind of see a little bit from Tommy's perspective because Tommy clocked.
Yeah, but he was shitty there.
No, he was shitty. Like, I'm not debating that Tommy was shitty.
I know.
But his whole point of being like, well, I'm not your last, I'm your first, and stuff like that. He clocked that Buck was in love with Eddie the whole time. Like, he did that, and kudos to him. He did not do it very well to end the things and everything and blah blah blah. I'm not a Tommy stan. I'm not a fan of Tommy.
Mm-mm.
I'm glad that he came back for this one instance where they can mess around and they can have their little hot sexy time
for him anymore. That was
and
it.
then Tommy's like, you know what?
That was the last bomb he had to drop. So
that was literally like,
there might be another bomb.
What's the other bomb?
Isn't he gonna come back for like that 2-part emergency?
Once he took that little second where he was like, I'm glad the competition of Eddie is gone.
Okay,
listen,
I were him and I was in the same room as those two, I'd probably say some like snarky ass shit.
Yeah, so if he's back, it's because Buck and Eddie are finally back together and he says something. And his fucking
like, I knew you would get together one day.
No, but he's not. It's gonna be mean because he's an asshole. But he's gonna be sarcastic.
Here's the thing: he wasn't even being mean when him and Buck hooked up in this episode. He was just saying, like, maybe we can work it out now that the competition is gone. I don't think he was intentionally being mean with that. He was just saying, this person who is so important in your life and who matters so much to you, they're gone. And I think him saying that just made Buck realize, oh fuck.
Yeah.
This person is more to me than what I initially realized. I don't think we ever need to see Tommy again.
I don't think we need to either, but I'm saying if we do, that's why we would be seeing him, and he would not be doing it in a, it's Nick way. No, I don't think so. I do not think so. Rock,
I agree.
I don't know if you listen to our podcast, but if you do listen or don't or haven't listened to the plot device episode,
it's fantastic. I was not on it.
We break down why
Rachel?
Tommy was here. Yeah. Every single purpose that he served for Buddie. Do we love Tommy? No. Do we love the plot device utilization? Absolutely. The idea of him coming back would not have made me crash out had I actually known it was happening. But I get it.
Rock, I agree with you that Buck doesn't quite know yet that all of his shit to try and get Tommy's attention was actually to get Buck's attention yet. I don't think he knows that yet. I think he's on his way to like fully grasping that. But yeah, him not being able to live in or sleep in Eddie's house is 100% a sign that Buck is devastatingly in love with Eddie. Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to Buck and Maddie's conversations.
So right. No, I think Rachel was trying to say something earlier.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of us like here. 5 minutes ago. It's lost now. I'm on a delay. We need to also
look back on Buck and Tommy.
I'm so sorry.
Eddie was the third wheel.
And I'm on a delay.
Tommy was the third wheel in that relationship.
For sure.
Tommy was the third wheel. Again, sorry to plug ourselves in our own live stream. listen to our plot device episode. We explain it.
All of the relationships
break it down.
Have been the third wheel between Buck and Eddie.
Yes,
they're each other's person.
Can we talk a little bit about how this might be potentially setting up our 8B theory?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember our 8B theory. TLDR.
Someone pull up the notes.
No, I have TLDR in my head. TLDR version of our 8B theory is that 12 and or 13 is Eddie dealing with his family, rebuilding his relationship with Chris, and dealing with his own sexuality, his gay realization,
the awakening.
And then in 14 and 15, it's gonna be an NDE for probably to be decided.
You froze. So
me? Who froze?
Who froze?
Maybe Meg's frozen.
Oh.
Did we decide that Eddie is having the NDE, or are we still up in the air?
I think that's what we're leaning towards.
Okay, we're leaning towards Eddie NDE. So it's like the biological thing that's happening. And now that we know it's sick day, we're like, maybe it's supposed to be Eddie's first day of work. But but he's sick,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's out. And then there's like a parallel of like the tsunami arc where Eddie keeps calling. It's like, so glad you're missing it. And meanwhile, Eddie's going
also,
through the horrors.
But also a parallel to 413, where Eddie was working and Buck was not, and Eddie was the one that got hurt.
Yes.
So a switch on that as well.
But also at the same time, wouldn't it be just so nice? It was just like a quiet episode where Eddie's like, "Oh, okay."
For what?
Like, okay, honestly,
you guys all blacked out on me for about 5 minutes, so I'm just trying to hop in and be like, rather than NDE, let's talk about just a gentle realization.
No,
we're talking about our buddy timeline theory.
Yeah, his feelings realization's not till the end of the season. So we're not even talking about that yet.
And even acknowledgement. He may realize, but he will not acknowledge.
Mm-hmm. And so Sick Day is either going to be this like ridiculous like bottle episode that we all would love to see, or it's going to be the horrors. Yeah. And I'm leaning towards the horrors.
We hope that there's going to be a Kirk and Spock parallel. But anyway, what I was trying to get to
between the glass.
What I was trying to get to is we're kind of on the same page that we're like, Buck kind of is not even going to look at those feelings because he doesn't see any option. So if he realizes he's gay in El Paso, comes back, thinks he's gonna die, comes out, all of a sudden, feelings realization,
crash out.
See, what I feel like is what's gonna wind up happening, because they're gonna have to like mess with us for a little while. So Eddie's gonna realize in Texas, and he's gonna come back to LA, and he's gonna be all ready to talk to Buck and tell Buck about how he's feeling and how everything like that. And Buck's gonna be like just starting to date a new guy or a new girl, and Eddie's gonna be like, oh no, let me just rein these feelings back in while Buck's in a relationship with somebody else, because I feel like that's the kind of bullshit networks are gonna put us through.
You lost me at Eddie wanting to admit his feelings.
So.
No, okay.
So,
I'm
sorry, I hated all of that. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's fine. This is a safe space where we can talk about our bad ideas, right?
Meg's like, we listen and we don't judge. Sorry, no, actually.
No,
we listen, but we do judge.
We do. This is the most.
I'm never like
this. Is the most like heinously. No, still, I love it. This is the most like. Oh my god! Out of her brain. Still has ever been.
You don't need to hear it, Rachel.
It's the most real. No, actually, Rachel, you probably don't.
No, I don't even remember it anymore, because it was just like a doofy thing I decided to say. Like, Eddie realizes in Texas that he's in love with Buck, and he comes back to California.
Ready to tell Buck about his feelings, and Buck's dating someone else, so he shoves it down. And Sil was like, I hated all of that, and I said, you lost me at Eddie wanting to have a conversation about his feelings.
Oh no, Rachel.
Yeah, that I heard.
Wait. Is she?
No,
no.
She's frozen again. But that is the most excited about anything I think I've seen Sil in a while, and I feel really excited that I could bring that out in her, even if it's in like what the fuck is wrong with you, Meg?
It's an accomplishment.
Situation. I'm proud of myself. I win even if I lose.
You're accomplished.
And
yes.
To be honest, that is not what I want. That is not what I want. I want these two fucking idiots to realize they're in love with each other, because I've been waiting 7 years.
I still think that we're going to end like we're going to have the Buck feeling realizations. We're going to have Eddie sexuality realization, and then season 8 is going to end like finale, like lingering long shot, like we've been doing with Buck
Eddie
for like 3 or 4 episodes. It's going to end on Eddie, and that will be the realization, and then cut to hiatus. And we're going to be thinking about that for 3.5 months.
Do you not?
And then when we come back in the fall, because we will, then we'll start to the unrequited requited.
Do you not feel like we've had Buck's realization yet? Because I feel like
No,
having it.
absolutely
It is in the
have.
Maybe not consciously.
not
Maybe
consciously. So this was him admitting he had feelings.
But us as the audience,
Pretty
like,
much.
we know. We know.
He told the
Like-
audience he has feelings, but he
Yeah.
didn't tell himself.
like
He
Like,
didn't know. No
I-
self-reflection.
I know several people who watch this show casually.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a feral gremlin when it comes to this show. Like I try and clock people
just
who
this show. Totally normal.
shut up.
Otherwise.
I try and find my kind. And I like
Mhm.
burrow into them like a barnacle, and that like I live in their skin. But I talk to people,
Buck and Eddie.
I talk to
Wow.
these people who watch the show like normal people apparently watch television, which has never been me. And
Sounds
even then, them in the last couple weeks have been like, that seems pretty not normal heterosexual friendship. And I'm like, it's absolutely not. Which makes me feel like, okay, good job on doing your work on turning the general audience to be like, this is not just a bestie friend situation.
Spreading the gospel.
But like
The homosexual agenda, if you will.
Yeah, spread that homosexual agenda. Indoctrinate our children, please, with the gay agenda.
The gay agenda is buddy canon.
But it's like, okay, so this episode, even if
Isn't
Buck
it?
doesn't apparently realize that he's in love with Eddie, everything he has said in this entire episode has been to reaffirm to the audience that Buck is absolutely 100% in love with Eddie. Like, Buck's not ready. Buck's not ready to know it, but we are absolutely 100% ready to know that
We
he
are
is
in on
love
it.
with Eddie.
But even the general audience knows
Methinks
now.
protest
Yes,
too much.
He's
That's what I
literally
mean.
the last
but
one to
that's
know.
but that's what I mean is like the general audience knows. Tommy bringing it up, Tommy scoffing and saying okay to Eddie being straight is such a giant signal to the general audience that
sign.
Eddie is not straight, that I can't think of anything more obvious than Eddie literally raw dogging some dude in Texas. Honestly,
What?
like
Wait, that's clocked back in this conversation.
I know I talk a lot. I'm saying the only thing more obvious than what Tommy said about Eddie being straight is that Eddie was raw dogging a dude in Texas. I'm so glad you guys let me in.
Oh my god.
So Rock said,
I mean, it's kind of
I
this.
ruined everything.
Can I read this comment from Rock, please? Yep, I've been waiting. Rock said, I think Eddie already started to realize when Buck told him he was like taking over his lease, and we agree. But it's something. It's the same thing that happened at the end of 808 of Wannabes,
808.
where Buck has that A moment, but not the O moment. It's kind. It was that like that equivalent.
Yeah, there's a feeling
it's on the same train track, but not quite at the station.
Yeah, there's a feeling he just.
Can we talk about how Eddie cut Tommy off after he dumped Buck? Absolutely, we can.
Yeah,
absolutely, we can.
And that is a.
Yeah.
I want to say that's a best friend, but also that's a best friend.
Legit fanfic.
That was a man waiting for an excuse.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to as soon as they started dating, but then he was like suddenly the chaperone in every moment those two spent together.
And I also
think now I have to spend time with him. Yeah.
It's also my headcanon that Eddie clocked all these times that Tommy didn't do right by Buck, didn't treat Buck right. Like he bought all these things for Eddie when they were first becoming friends and didn't do any of that stuff. Like he took Buck to Chili's and stuff like that. Like he did not do anything. Yeah, Chili's. That's what I've headcanoned is that Tommy kept taking Buck to Chili's. Well, he took Eddie to Vegas for fights. And Eddie clocked it as being like what? Yeah, like he took him.
Oh my god!
You know when they have the place where they have like that $30 for two, and you each get an appetizer, and you each get a meal, an entree, and you each get a dessert. I feel like that's what Tommy was doing for Buck, and Buck was just so desperate to be loved, and and desperate to.
He would accept anything.
He would take anything, and it's not to make Buck sound pathetic. It just is to illustrate.
I mean, he is pathetic.
He is pathetic, but not like.
So is Eddie. They're both pathetic for different reasons.
But it feels so negative. But I feel like
that's not affectionate.
Yeah, Eddie clocked what Tommy was doing and the no effort that Tommy was putting into his relationship with Buck after Eddie literally got a helicopter and flew Eddie to Vegas for a fight. And I think that was when Eddie was done. Like, having nothing to do with his own feelings for Buck or anything like that. He was like, this guy is just not treating my best friend right. And
the way he should be.
And he ended it. I think he ended that friendship before they ever broke up. I think he was.
I think so.
Yeah.
He was acquaintance friend.
Like at the bachelor party?
No. Yeah, he was like friends because that was his best friend's boyfriend, but he was never initiating hangs or anything like that once they started dating.
I think it was over when Buck told him that.
For sure. Yeah.
That's when it was over.
Yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Also,
Dunzo.
Rock, I agree. I want secret buddy relationship.
Oh yeah,
so
I want that.
Let's
get
that, and let's get that in season 9, please.
Thank you so much. I want some. I don't realize it's unrequited or it's not unrequited. I want them to both.
We need that
they're unrequited in love with each other, and then I want some secret stuff. I have so many thoughts and feelings. I read too many fanfics.
Also, Meg, Emily says they've never seen you before, but they are absolutely rocking with you. So just to let you know,
I'm a guest star.
As a guest star, she is she's in our Buck Actually episode, and she is also going to be in our The Searchers episode, which isn't coming out for a while, but
yeah. And also, I have been
also be here next week.
I have been ragging Han.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
Months and months and years to watch.
We've known each other longer than the show has been on.
Yes. Yeah. So I've been ragging Han to watch the show for years, and they kept saying no. Let me know when the firefighters kiss. And then I got a message randomly from Han saying, "Oh, I saw that they kiss." I'm like, wrong firefighters. But you should still watch. And then Han decided to watch, and there's a whole podcast.
Yeah, so I think I was like,
welcome,
I think
Internet.
I said, "Tell me when the right ones kiss."
You did. You said, "Tell me when the right ones kiss."
And then I had FOMO because Syl started watching it casually, and I was like, "I'll put it on in the background because I'll just like, just know what's happening for like whenever this happens, if it does."
Literally 15 minutes later, there was a podcast that
I will be right back.
Okay. Is your dad here to relieve you?
Yes.
Thanks,
unless you want me to put my dad on, but
that's so cute. No, it's okay. Is your dad a big buddy?
I'll be right back.
No.
No.
So, but yeah, the next message for me is saying, "Let me know when the right ones kiss" was, do you think the buddy system's a good name for a podcast?
Yeah. So that was and that's literally that was it. It was like, please watch this show. I won't watch this show. And then, by the way, I have a podcast about this show that I wasn't gonna watch.
And so what's interesting about the name of our podcast, right, is that Rachel thought about it like as an offhanded, like, yeah, right, we're not really gonna call it that. Because like, surely no,
it's such a
good
name.
That's the thing, is you guys had a conversation while I was at my best friend's wedding. They decided we were doing a podcast while I was away, by the way. I was just told. But then we were having like our first meeting to like brainstorm names and other stuff. And we kept coming up with the names, and I was like, no. And then Syl was like, we should just do the buddy system or whatever. And I was like, why did you not say that we could have been done?
It's such a good name.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a romantic thing, it's a friend thing, it's a partner thing. It's so much beyond the romantic aspect of Buck and Eddie, and it goes into the actual show as itself, because
there's a family show.
There's a buddy system for everyone in that show. Beyond that. Also, yes, Rock, I agree. Buddy is a great slow burn. And I will also lose my mind when Buddy finally kisses, because again, I have watched the show since the pilot. I have been in these trenches alone for so many years. And like, Han was one of the people that I was like, this is someone who's gonna like watch this and be as feral and ridiculous about it as I am. And then nothing.
Obviously, you were wrong.
I was obviously incorrect.
So what were you trying to say?
I hate to make it about them. Them. It's like, which them are we talking about though, right? But
hashtag.
Like, so I feel like Buddy, like this is so, I feel like we said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. I feel like Buddy is beating Destiel a bit right now, you know?
Listen, I love Deancast. I will love them until I die. I feel a little burned by it. Like, I still ship it. But I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to rewatch that show. I know plenty of people still, like Meg and I met because of Supernatural. So, but we have a lot of friends who still like the show, still rewatch it. I don't dislike the show. It's just that it's like something that, I don't know. It hurt me personally, and I don't know if I can rewatch it, but like Buddy is healing all the wounds. And it's not just that. It's just that like their love is also like fucking mythology like levels. But it's set in the real world. Like, it's not a human and an angel, right? Where it was like it's mythological. Like and that, so like their love was epic by, you know, in their own right. But like just by nature.
I feel like, so the only reason I have been watching Supernatural after the series finale has been because my kids are watching Supernatural and they are wanting to watch with me, and experiencing it with my kids while they're watching it for the first time is something that's beautiful for me. I have never, after the finale, I have never put an episode on myself,
like for yourself.
Because I can't. Everything about the finale took away every single thing about the show since the end of season 1. Like, it destroyed the show for me in so many ways. And it didn't even have to do so much with Dean and Cass. It
was like literally, why was there even 15 years of a show?
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a slap in the face.
It was like, what was the point? What was the point of the show? And the reason I started watching 911, I'm going to get like a little emotional, but that was to give me a respite, funnily enough, from Supernatural. It was to give me something that was a little bit more lighthearted and a little bit more. And then before I knew it, this other firefighter came in season 2, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm in this situation.
You're back in the building.
I'm back in it again. I'm still in this restaurant.
I did.
Everything about this show, especially in the past 2 seasons, feels so intentional.
Oh, it is 100%.
About how everything that we were baited on and we were teased on and mocked for,
and how much care and intentionality they're putting into
gaslit for in Supernatural. We are getting our just desserts with Buddy, because it feels so real and so intentional. And
so what were you trying to say?
I was just going to say it's okay. I also
I'm just moderating.
I know. I feel like we're all a lot. I get so excited.
We're all very excited.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I did actually watch. I did kind of rewatch Supernatural, like maybe a month or 2 after the finale, just so I can like see how it hits different. But after that, I have never put on an episode of Supernatural ever again. Like it's not. It doesn't. It's like, why do I want to subject myself to that right now? And then like to everyone's point, like this is like the 911 has been so healing because I feel like so let down. They let me down so hard, 40 feet down. Like,
well, what's crazy is that we had no expectations to begin with. So the fact that they gave us any felt like, and listen, this isn't like, I'm so glad we have gay cast. I'm so glad we have it.
Yes.
I wouldn't trade that for like, just having him not having that at all. But it was, but it really did feel like they were like, we're gonna do it. You thought like
take this crumb, take these crumbs and be happy with it. And
that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah. And if I'm being honest, that's part of why I was never a big fan of Lone Star, because Lone Star came around the time where Tim Minear, obviously he left 911 to join Lone Star, and a big reason about that was kind of sprung around was that he wanted Buck and Eddie to happen, and Fox wasn't going to let it happen, so he went and started a spinoff, and that's why TK and Carlos were a thing to be the new Buck and Eddie in a different show.
And right away,
immediately, there was no burn, there was nothing. It was just like, and the network didn't seem to quite grasp what we wanted, because we wanted, as an audience, we wanted that friends to lovers slow burn. We wanted that pining.
It wasn't about giving us a gay couple, it's about giving the audience that relationship.
It wasn't about fetishizing two dudes. It was about this particular story, about these two particular characters that we wanted to see begin a relationship with each other.
Networks in general are weary because they think they'll lose general audience by taking characters that are not introduced as gay, because they don't understand, I guess, they think that general audience don't understand that coming out later in life is a thing.
Which is so funny, because Michael did that in the pilot.
I know.
And Rock, I do agree that TK and Carlos didn't hit like Buddie, but I feel like so much of that was because they were created. I feel like they were specifically created to be like, well, we're not going to give you this couple that you want on this show, so we're going to create a new show, and here's a new gay couple that you can be really into on this show, so don't pay attention to the couple that we're going to ignore over here. It really, as someone who watched all of this live as it was happening, that's what it felt like to me. And I tried to watch Lone Star and I just couldn't do it because it felt so pandering. It felt like all this representation that you want on 911, all of that you want, we're not going to give you in this one. Here. We're going to put it here. The trans representation, the Muslim representation, the queer representation. We're gonna get.
I think it's great that all of that representation exists, but like,
for sure,
dessert.
For Rachel, sure. But it felt pandering with Lone Star.
What were you trying to say?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm.
You don't have to apologize. Just know I'm going to keep doing it.
There's just
Rachel. Just remember what you're going to say. Just remember.
There's so many delays. I'm sorry.
I know it was, and I'm on such.
To be fair, Phil and Rachel aren't saying anything. They're making faces, like they want to talk. So I'm looking at them.
Turtle.
No, what was I going to say? The whole thing about like networks don't think that like making characters have a realization like later in life is going to like draw numbers, but I think that's exactly what we're proving wrong.
Yes,
with 911, because with Buck, it drove the viewership. There are so many more people in the fandom, including us.
Look at the three of us. Like, hello, we were part of that like wave, right? And so to do that like a second time, I mean, yes, they did that in the pilot, but I don't think anybody's really like they've garnered so much traction and so much there's just been so much time that like and this is a different time that we're in as well. So I really think that they are kind of like putting in the groundwork to say like
no, you can't use that argument anymore to the networks because look at how many viewers we got after we did A and B. You know?
Well, that's actually how they got. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just seeing stuff about like Tim saying stuff about stuff, and I don't know what I missed. But,
by the way, I did give you guys. I mean, mostly at Rachel. There are links in our Discord.
Good, thank you. I was gonna say I actually forgot this part of my 911 origin story, which is that when all of this happened and like the 704 by Buck happened, it was literally the entire timeline, even though I did not go here at all. And then I did end up watching the scene like a couple days later, and it made me burst into tears. Like I had no context for any of it, but it made me burst into tears because like having someone come out later in life bisexual, I was like, that's me. Like he was 31, 32, I was 27. And him saying like I'm free, I burst into tears. And then I was like, that was a really cool scene. And then when Soul started watching it, I was like, all right, maybe I'll give it a chance and see.
Well, and I think what's interesting because Michael.
Yeah, she's on a cruise ship. The music is coming from Rachel.
Hello.
Yes, the music is coming from Rachel.
I haven't found Athena yet, but I'll be on the lookout.
Let me know when you see Dr. Thruple.
Right. Let me see C Pacey.
Let me just like have a medical emergency.
I'm glad that you think of him as Pacey too, because that's what I do. I loved in retrospect when we see Michael kind of coming out with Athena and talking about it and saying that he married her because he thought she could fix him. And I love that, and I love how that's gonna serve the general audience for viewing Eddie in the future. Yeah.
But
yes,
I can also grasp how different that is because Michael, as much as we love him, was never a main character in the show.
And he knew.
Yeah, he's always been a supporting.
He was a recurring supporting.
Yeah, he was a supporting character and a recurring character, but he was never one of the main cast in this show, and that's fine. So as much as we love seeing that representation, it's so much different seeing representation in a main character, like arguably the main character.
Yeah,
of
him
the
and Bobby.
Show,
yeah,
because we really the whole show we really view through Buck's eyes. Buck is it's an ensemble show, but Buck is the protagonist that we are generally watching the series through. Like he is the person whose eyes we are watching the show through. And to have him later in life realize this new facet of himself and not be scared by it, not be ashamed by it, and just be like, oh,
just accepting of it.
This is something new about me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And let's just kind of see where this goes, because even like with Michael always felt like he was broken and he thought he needed a woman to fix him to make him less broken. Everything we've seen from Eddie, who I think is his queer awakening, I feel like is just inevitable at this point. Like I can't function in a world where that's not a thing that's going to happen. Has been functioning in
Tim.
his. No one can.
Funny.
Nobody
so
can.
Common.
This man has not been able to function in his life without feeling like he's broken.
Yeah,
and that
it's been set up from the beginning.
It crushes me so much.
Just like the coding
to have Buck realize that he's bisexual and just be like, oh, okay, this is a part of me. This is a part of me. Thing. And it's not traumatic. It's not like revelationary. He's just like, oh yeah, like I like dudes as much as I like girls. Yeah. And that's one of the things where I will forever be grateful that Tommy exists in this show to give Buck that casual, uncomplicated sexual realization and stuff like that. And even in this new episode that we just had, he was able to also use Tommy and not use Tommy in a way to make him realize Tommy is a plot device.
Listen, that was a rebound, so he did. He did use this.
he used Tommy again in a way to kind of realize where his feelings truly lied.
Tell SJ we say hi.
Yes.
But I loved that. I loved that he was able to be like, okay, so it wasn't a one-off. This isn't just Tommy that I have these feelings for. And even if he's not ready to examine those feelings for Eddie, that he subconsciously clocked them himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shadow said sometimes they wish that Michael was still on the show just so we can see what his opinion or input would be on Eddie's whole thing. Because that would have been a fantastic resource for Eddie to have, someone to lean on who experienced very similar things, not exactly the same, but that would have sped it up years ago. Let's be
maybe I don't know that shit. The Shannon guilt, man. Really, the Shannon guilt.
No,
I love Michael. I don't think he would have sped anything up for Eddie. And sorry that Rockman Dunbar didn't want to get a vaccine.
They can just recast him.
He can just
get that for everyone else.
He can,
but he's not going to.
Yeah, he can just get the vaccine and come back. I just
want Michael back sometimes because he was the only friend that Bobby had that wasn't his employee.
Yeah,
for sure. Their whole dynamic was different.
That was his one friend, not his fire child.
Yep.
All right, can we talk about the amount of times that they brought up that Eddie is quote unquote straight?
Between Eddie straight and Eddie not being there because Bobby kept saying Buck and Eddie instead of Buck and Robbie. That was another fic I read. Another fic I just read this morning when they kept saying Buck and Eddie instead of Buck and Robbie. And I was like, they said Eddie is straight so many times. I'm like, this man is not.
Robbie is getting put through the horrors by Buck and Bobby right now.
Robbie just wants to live his life. He does not understand.
It's like, could I go back to B shift? I'm so tired of you.
This man does not understand he's like, what did I do in a past life to put me here? Because this is awful. Everything about this.
When Eddie comes back, he's gonna be like, oh, thank God, I never want to be on A shift ever again.
Bye. I'm moving to Nashville. Bye.
Please go make out with Please go make out with your husband while I move to Nashville.
Oh my God. The whole
me and Eli.
Actually, you're just not realizing this. Oh, it just took me a while to warm up to you. How long did it take you to warm up to Eddie? And he's like, almost
a whole shift. Almost.
That was embarrassing.
That
was embarrassing.
Been 4 years.
That was so embarrassing, Buck.
Yeah.
That was so gross.
That was
he doesn't
worse
really
than
know
704.
to be.
Yes, Rod.
And also Buck doesn't really know to be embarrassed by that. He can be like, okay, maybe that's but that's the first real friend he's ever had. So he's like, that's normal, right? It just takes a while to warm up.
Rock said, did you all see 911 live yesterday? And Ryan was there. Yes, we did. We did.
We know he's alive and well.
We have thoughts.
Yes, we do. I feel like Eddie was also Buck's first real friend.
Yeah.
I think that's so much of where Buck's confusion lies. Mm-hmm. Because Eddie, aside from any romantic feelings he might have for Eddie, Eddie is his first real ride or die friend. Maddie, as much as Maddie loves him and stuff like that, she did leave, but Eddie is he never left. It was always, I will always. But
also back.
And siblings and friends are different.
You can be friends with your siblings, but it's that's not the same as making a friend, right? Because the friend is there by choice completely.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so hard for Buck, especially. And I think it's hard for Eddie right now because I feel like Buck is one of Eddie's first real friends too.
I just saw you cover your mouth, which is normally because you found some tea.
I found something funny. No. So at Cowboy Diaz on Twitter. So like it's the scene of the it's just a video clip of the kitchen scene with Buck and Tommy, but like they said, wait, was the "you can never have too much closet space" dig actually at Eddie?
Yes.
I think it was at both of them.
I think so.
I think at both.
I think we talked. Did we talk about that in the plot device episode? I feel like we did.
I think we did.
Yeah. I think we did. Bringing up our own episode. We just love that episode.
You did. I think the only reason Buck clocked it over Eddie is because Eddie is still so deeply repressed that it was just like, okay, sure. Late like, women. He's like women in them closet spaces. No, I think it was a dig at both of them. I think Tommy has always known that there was some shit between Buck and Eddie, and he was only casually fucking around with Buck because Buck was there.
Eddie wasn't available.
And Eddie wasn't available. And that's
he's like, there and he's hot.
And I think Tommy, if Buck were more receptive, I do think Tommy would have happily settled down with Buck.
Oh, but if he wasn't emotionally caught up, sure.
Yeah, I would.
Absolutely.
I will always praise Tommy, even if I'm not like a fan of him, for recognizing that this was not it is like this was not a relationship that's serving him and going to be good for him, and so he's gonna take that step back and protect himself and protect Buck from future pain by saying, "Nope, we're not going to do this. We're going to take that." Like, I will respect Tommy for that, even if it felt abrupt. But also, Buck asking Tommy to move in was really abrupt.
Sure.
Buck was acting like Tommy threw the first brick at Stonewall when the dude was just racist in 2005. Like, 2005 wasn't that long ago, you guys.
No.
I was out of high school. In 2000, it was not that long ago. We weren't that homophobic in 2005. There's a lot of homophobia, but nothing like, you're so brave for existing.
But again, Buck doesn't know.
No.
No, this
is all a new experience to him.
I also disagree with Meg on respecting Tommy's stepping. Listen, because
I'm trying to be diplomatic.
Okay, I get it. I
can't believe you're doing the devil's advocate that Rachel is supposed to be doing.
Meg does it, but she does it for different reasons. She's not actually just like, I want to see all sides. She's like, I want to get rises out of people.
For sure. Oh my God.
So she will just say crazy shit to me that she knows will piss me off. And I'll know she's doing it, but I'm autistic. So I will still.
Hannah, there are three videos I saved to send to you later when I want to hear you rage.
Oh God.
They're all Marvel.
Oh my God.
Oh Jesus. But anyway, we talked about this before, so I won't really get deep into it. But I think that Tommy is a narcissist, and I think that he was using Buck from the beginning. Buck was pretty clear about his intentions and wanting a real relationship, and Tommy knew that he was going into that for a good time, not a long time. He never put any effort in. He never put any care in. He didn't even know that Athena was Bobby's wife. No, fuck him, and fuck him for using Buck.
I feel like Tommy and Abby both messed up the camp. I'm sorry. Okay. There's a thing called the campsite rule.
Oh yeah.
Any older person, I will always talk about this because it's the end all be all. It's the campsite rule, and if you are an older person dating a younger person, you follow the campsite rule, where you leave the campsite better than what you found it.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up the trash, you pick up all the mess, you leave it ready for the next person in a good condition.
Yeah.
And it's a metaphor for older people dating younger people, particularly in queer relationships. Particularly if it's a person's first queer relationship. Yeah. You have a responsibility to take care of that person in that relationship, especially if they're younger and it's their first queer relationship. And Abby,
for any relationship,
it should absolutely, it does, and that's where Abby fails it because she leaves Buck worse off than how she found him, arguably. And it goes the same for Tommy. Tommy leaves Buck worse off and more confused than he ever was.
Yeah.
For what reason? Like, there was no reason for either of them to do that, and they both left him for selfish
because
reasons.
they wanted to sleep with him because he's hot. That was hot. The reason.
And it just reinforces Buck's belief that his only value is in his body, whether it be for medical or for sexual pleasure of other people. And that's why. Yep, that's the only reason I just so desperately want someone to choose Buck for Buck.
Yeah. Rock says, what are our thoughts on Buck getting a couch, but also moving it in the place where Eddie had his? So interesting, because we didn't really get
I think it was the same couch. I think it was the birth couch.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know why he went.
First of all, where is Eddie's couch? Because it was not fitting in the U-Haul.
I just love that he placed the coffee table, the couch, and the armchair in the same exact places.
So, but he tried everywhere else,
not the armchair. Actually, correction.
That's a metaphor.
And it didn't feel.
That's a metaphor for all his relationships.
The armchair, the armchair seems to be on the left. It should be on the right, I think.
So many different things, and it's not fitting.
I think Eddie moved that armchair around a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Just like his lamps that randomly show up.
There were 2 chairs. There was one on the left.
Okay.
There were 2 chairs.
Yeah, I think that was just like a metaphor for all his relationships.
I'm not
trying all these different options, but then ending up with what was in front of him the entire time.
Yeah. I'm not quite ready to put a bunch of meaning behind Buck's hasty unpacking situation that we saw yet. But I did notice that he had a hard time figuring out where the couch was supposed to go. And there's really only like 1 or 2 positions in that living room that couch makes sense.
Well, he had a couch sutra.
But where he put it did not seem to make sense.
And the thing is, too, with the framing of that, when he finally sits down with it being in the same place that Eddie's was originally, it's the same framing like through the kitchen that we saw in 808 when Buck was like, let's take this party to the couch, and sits down on it like that. It was the same framing. So in Buck's mind, it's still like, let's take this party to the couch, but Eddie's
bless Aisha
not there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, Aisha. Like, wait, Aisha.
No, she's amazing. We also have not talked about Maddie and Buck's conversations at all.
I feel like I just need to rewatch that.
That woman is so tired.
She is.
She just went through the horrors, and she has to deal with her dumb bisexual brother.
And her hair is
living
looking
in
amazing.
her house. I mean, she's really glad to have him there, and that like
her hair looks so good. No scars to be seen. Apparently, still no pregnancy.
No, she had a big throat scar.
Oh, I didn't see it. So
yeah,
that's fine.
She had a big throat scar.
It was there.
How long it will be there? We can start the counter.
At least 3 weeks.
Through the end of the season.
But so I guess I loved their conversation. I'm torn because I want Buck to finally realize what is happening in his brain and what his feelings really are, and I kind of want someone to beat him upside the head with a frying pan and tell him this is what you're feeling and thinking. But also I think they're doing such a good job of being a natural big sister or older sibling, being like, hey bro, do you ever think that this might be the thing that's actually going on? Like,
is it your
it feels really real and natural and normal. And even though my like chaotic brain is like, just tell him he's in love with his best friend and then kidnap them and tie him in a closet together until they recognize their feelings for each other and they have all these babies. I understand that that's not reality.
Yeah, so Rock said, I think Buck's going to feel it and realize his feelings in the moment. Eddie's near-death experience, and that is kind of what I'm thinking.
I think Buck already has his feelings realization. I think Buck already, on some level, gets it. I think he gets it. I think he's not willing to admit it, but I think he gets it. Like, I think today
because
really
it's not an option.
Today really solidified that he he knows it, but it's not an option. It's not a choice. So it's something that he is like, these are feelings I have. I'm going to dismiss them because they're not even an option.
There's a such thing as knowing that there's something there and not realizing that you're in love with someone and not knowing that you've been in love with them for a very long time.
I don't think he knows he's in love with him. I think he's just like,
that's what I'm talking about. When I say feelings realization, I mean big, oh my God, I'm fucking in love with him and will never love anyone again.
Like Holy Mother of God, you mean?
Yes.
No, go ahead, Sal.
I was just gonna. It's a little slightly off topic, but the fact that I think we're gonna have to start building a flowers theory because there's more flowers.
Where were the flowers?
On Maddie's kitchen.
Oh,
so we've got. I think those are red roses plus some other stuff in there.
Which is like romantic love.
So, like, I mean, language of flowers on my TV show, on my procedural. I can't believe this.
Mm-hmm.
Your procedural
I do want to mention. I do want to mention the thing that Maddie said, where when they were in the kitchen, I think it was the second conversation, and Buck's like, everybody wants me to like be. For some reason, everybody wants me to be in love with my best friend. And Maddie says, like, would that be so crazy though? That is her like very gently like showing him like, you may not think he's an option, but like actually think about it. Like, is he like the oh my God, Meg is going to eat her hands.
No.
Is it like basketball or is it?
She's crashing the fuck out.
Oh my God. No, but like the way Maddie is like gently leading to like, maybe it's okay for you to think about it that way as him as an option. Because if Tommy clocked it, Maddie's clocked it 7 years ago. So she's just like, I think you're like closer to the right path. And this is totally what she meant by like, the universe is gonna find the perfect person for you.
No, when this inevitably happens, she's gonna be like, "Fucking fine."
Sorry, Meg.
She needs to have a drink. That woman needs a drink.
No, I want. Yeah, I was gonna say I want
to like, oh my.
I wanted to finish her sentence before I was like, oh my God. Like, for real. Like, when he was like, everyone wants me to be in love with my best friend, maybe because you are in love with your best friend.
No one wants you to be. Everyone knows you are.
I'm crawling out of my skin, being like, people don't want you to be in love with your best friend. They're just recognizing that you are in love with your best friend. And they're just like, why are you not seeing what all of us
She has the patience of a saint, because if this was my little brother, I would literally be smacking the back of his head. Like, I would be so fucking done.
I would be mashing their faces together like fucking Ken dolls. I'd be losing my mind if this was my actual brother. Like, hearing him say that to Maddie, and I've only watched it once, and while I watched it, I wanted to crawl out of my own skin and eat myself because it was so insane.
Always come back to cannibalism.
No, because it's been 7 years. It's been so long.
I know.
It's been so long. I've never been this close.
She's experiencing like
you're totally fair to like.
She's experiencing despair, but
you're
like
allowed
in a good way.
I've been experiencing despair, but in a good way for the past year and a half, and now no one is telling me I'm crazy. So,
I am, but
I will say, like, I'm I will say, like, I am, like, okay, but like, for real though, like, I mean, she is real. She's a good sister for being so gentle, because I feel like if somebody just was like flat out, you're in love with this person,
you'd be like no,
do something about it. Yeah, no, and then like it could even have negative effects to the point of like even repressing that. So it's like
swings the other way.
So that's why, exactly. To be like, no, I'm not. You know,
like to overcompensate for it. Like, no, I can't. Of course, I can't be. Like, why? I'm gonna do something completely like.
Maddie is doing such a good job of dragging her baby brother along on this feeling
by the hand. Yeah,
I am not.
I'm gonna
that
hold
person.
your hand while
I'm not that person. I'm just someone watching these two.
Meg and I are not that person.
No, we're people watching these idiots be in love with each other, wanting to literally eat our own arms.
Well, that's
and
also
legs.
I am an oldest. I have two younger brothers.
I'm the baby.
I know you are the baby, but I'm just telling you, my brothers would not be getting this treatment from me.
And yes, Kenny, it is like SpongeBob eating
next
his
week
hands
is the
like
confirmed Eddie Texas episode. We have suspicions that we will still be there for 13.
I'd say I'd heard that 13 was like 65 minutes long.
Yes, that's the rumor.
I don't know where
they're saying.
Yeah, the streets are saying, but it has not been confirmed.
And I guess spoilers named Invisible.
It's not spoilers.
It's not spoilers anymore. I mean, it's.
I don't know.
Episode titles are not spoilers because
I don't think so. I mean, if they were, they would hold them.
I hope you guys are okay with me because I'm never leaving these live watches or conversations again. I already told the Buddie podcast that when Buck and Eddie are canon, that they're just going to have to let me climb into whatever is happening in their lives while that's happening.
Our lives?
Yeah,
you mean
it doesn't
our
matter.
Work and the podcast?
No, like your podcast may or may not be happening at the time. I'm just gonna like Kool-Aid man into your lives and like start a live stream. We have to talk about this right now. I've been crashing out for half a decade.
It's warranted.
Understandable.
Lady Romulus says Maddie was in mom mode and not sister mode. That patience was infinite. Absolutely. I think
that's
also
probably why.
when she switches between mom and sister mode, like it's very fluid for her to do so. Like, because when she's in sister mode, that's when she was like, oh, is it circled with a heart around it? And when she's in mom mode, that's like the universe is gonna find you your person, and like, would that be so crazy if you were in love with your best friend? It's such a subtle shift, but the way she like occupies both of those roles for him is so good, and like Jennifer Love Hewitt does a great job, and just like it gives. She knows how to. She knows what Buck needs in that moment, right?
I think it's also really interesting and distinct too, because Maddie spent so long being Buck's de facto mom that I love seeing her be able to shift from that mom to sister mode with Buck, because Buck doesn't need a mom right now. Like we can argue that there are times when he always needs a parent or a mom and stuff like that, but he needs a sister, he needs a peer, he needs an equal that he can talk to much more than he needs a parental figure in his life for most of his stuff. And I love being able to see Maddie shift, because it's a hard shift for a sibling who took a parental role in their younger sibling's life to shift from being like a parent figure. And so my husband and I, our kids are 4 years apart. We try really, really hard to make sure that our older child, like we talk to our older child about like, you are not your younger sibling's parent, you're their sibling. So you do not need to parent your sibling.
Such a good mom.
You just like, if there's something dangerous, like if something is dangerous is happening, yes, please let us know. But otherwise, you're their sibling. You're not their parent. That's our job. And which is bizarre because my husband and I are both younger siblings, so that is just unheard of. But I love seeing this shift from Maddie to go from feeling like she's a mother figure for Buck and being able to relax and feel like she can be a sister to him instead. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think we see a lot of that in this episode.
Yes. And especially when like she needs someone to lean on, because like, let's not forget, Buck was trying to assure her as well.
And also she just got kidnapped with her throat slit. And who thought about that this episode? Literally no one.
They brought it up.
Rock said, we really need the Will combo with Eddie and his family. Listen.
For sure.
Oh, I don't care how we get there.
I really don't care how. Just give it to us. Give it to us, Rachel.
Begging.
I like saying that because that's my name.
It is your name.
I know. But it's the meme. It's the meme. Give it to me, Rachel. And I'm like, I will.
I have read so many fics. I have read so many fics where the Will comes up because Eddie is hurt, and Buck's like, wait, I'm Christopher is guarding. I'm like, yes, inject it in my. I need it so much.
Yeah, and it's I literally don't care how it happens. If it happens because of a Chris NDE, which like I think is gonna come up at some point. If it happens because of an Eddie NDE, with what we're kind of thinking with like 14-15 maybe, and that makes like Buck a power of attorney.
Oh, I just had a terrible
and
thought.
like Eddie's disconnected from his parents. Share.
Yeah, share.
No, I
mean, it's probably something that crossed our minds like briefly, but like this would be probably like narratively the best way to do it would be for the biological thing to like put Eddie in a coma. To put him in a coma, and then have
I know, but then there's so many comas.
So
I feel like that's really going to be the only way
I think
get Eddie.
It could be a medically induced coma. It could be a medically induced one.
Well, that's what Buck's was. Buck's was medically induced.
Was it?
Yeah. It was.
I think they could do it. I think they could do it without a coma. I think they could do it because
here's what I want.
Whatever it is, he's going to be incapacitated. Let me finish my thought. He's going to be incapacitated in the hospital, unconscious, in a way in which the will has to be enacted.
None of this is
about the will only comes up because the Diaz parents try and come and take Christopher back. That's why the will would come up. I'm done now. You guys can continue.
No, I have so many thoughts about that, but this episode
and that's,
has
sorry. And that's when Buck would realize.
I do too. I was
feelings. While he thinks he's really gonna lose, it would be like literally like the shooting again.
Yeah.
God.
I really think we're gonna get a parallel to that.
Taking care of Chris.
Oh, just give it, inject it in my veins, please. Give me all the angst and pain. Like that's all I want in life. As long as I know they're okay.
I really do. I really.
What?
Right. No, I really do think they could do something similar, but without a coma sort of situation where it's like, what is the word where you're like sequestered and the like literally, why am I forgetting the word? We all did this.
Quarantine?
That one.
Oh my god.
The sequestered.
But what is the name of our fucking Discord?
Wow. It wasn't entering my brain space.
Insane.
So I think they could do that with like a quarantine where like someone does still have to look after Chris because like Eddie would be, he couldn't go home, but he's still like conscious, and then we could also get like that Spock and Kirk parallel as well. While Buck is looking after Chris.
I think so. I don't know. I think I thought of it because that's possible. I think I thought of it because in my head, the only two ways that Buck has on the surface, oh holy shit, I am like in irreparable love with him is because he sees him as an option because Eddie comes out to him, or almost loses him. As in, not in a like, oh, near-death experience and now it's over immediately. As in what happened when he really was like, we don't know if he's going to be okay.
Yeah, like on the brink. But Lady Romulus says, would be Eddie if he made Buck power of attorney without Buck's knowledge and has to come all the way to Texas and make medical decisions? I kind of don't want Buck to go to Texas. I want Eddie to be able to like deal with all of that on his own. I love the idea though, like the concept, the feeling behind the idea. I just think this is something like Texas is something that Eddie needs to deal with, like kind of on his own and come to terms with, and that will be like
Eddie needs to choose to come home, and Buck
and like find his identity there.
Yeah, and Buck needs to not like. I don't want Buck to have to chase after like. Even though that would be like a medical situation. I just think like Eddie needs to have the autonomy to like deal with his family, rebuild his relationship with Chris, come like realize his sexuality, all of that, not attached to Buck.
Yeah. I totally agree. I don't have a lot of like stipulations, quote unquote, with Buck or Eddie, but the one thing
anything's fine.
Like however they end, I'm gonna be happy if they're together.
Beth asks, what is the possibility of Buck moving with Timu after Eddie comes back? 0.
Never. That will just never happen.
Zero. Even if that was something that they tried to put as a plot device, Eddie, the device would be for Eddie to be like, no.
Why don't you? Yeah.
It wouldn't happen because Tommy has twice now said that is not a thing he is interested in with Buck, regardless of how Buck feels about any of it. Tommy has said twice that is not a thing he
has been the one to shut that down. So it's like, it's just.
So plot device or not.
If we see Tommy again, I don't think it will be in any kind of romantic sense.
For sure. If we see Tommy again, it'll be to tell Eddie that Eddie is in love with Buck. That's basically the only way I feel like Tommy would be useful again. But oh shit, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, for the chasing. The one thing I want Eddie to initiate with Buck. Yeah. Not because
sorry.
There are so many people who are like Rin, hi.
We are also still crashing out.
There are so many people who are like, oh my god, Eddie needs to atone and make Buck blah 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 and make up for what he did to Buck. I'm not one of those people, okay? That is not my vibe, okay? I want Eddie to choose Buck.
Yeah.
Because Buck deserves to be chosen.
Eddie deserves to choose.
I really think
Buck deserves to be chosen, and Eddie deserves to choose his happiness. This will be the first time Eddie has chosen his own happiness. It's both of them.
Buck needs to choose him too, because Buck's never actually made a choice either.
No. My ideal first kiss or whatever, my ideal first kiss or whatever moment is Eddie goes in and does the little quick peck, and then he's like, oh no, and then Buck and they choose each other. That's my ideal Buck Eddie.
I love how absolutely tweaking out you are right now. Continue, Silk.
I feel like, and I feel you're good.
I'm losing my mind.
I can tell.
It's adorable. I love it.
I'm a normal person who's been waiting for this for 7 fucking years.
And you deserve to tweak out over it.
You just made my ass muscle clench in a weird way.
We're committing elder abuse.
You are.
Okay, elder. So, what were you saying? What did you want to say?
No.
I'm sorry.
Please say your thing.
I'm trying. Stop. Want to say my thing. Anyway, no. So no, and I really think that the one of the first steps for Eddie to Eddie to show that he's choosing Buck or whatever. I really think it's to tell him to stay moved in with them. When Eddie inevitably comes back, because that's going to be real fucking awkward now that Buck has basically put all his stuff around. So now it's oh, Eddie's back. I got to move out, but no, no, you don't. You don't. And that is going to be the first step. Yes, he's home. So, and Eddie needs to be no, I want you to stay here.
This is going to be our rom-com. I'm so excited.
He has to.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so
yes, Rachel.
Sorry, I don't know how delayed I am. I'm so sorry. So
my ass is still broken, if that helps.
Okay. Good to know it hasn't been that long.
No, I'm over 40. It'll be weeks.
I hate it here.
What was I saying? So the whole thing about when Eddie comes back and is you should stay here with me. But because Buck has also decorated and made the space his own sort of thing, then it's also Buck has to say, no, I think you should move in with me, which will be the first time someone will have said yes, and it will have worked. Boom.
No, you're right. You're right.
You're so right.
Because oh
my god, are they gonna get 2 single beds? the main bedroom, and then eventually, and then when they start dating, they're gonna push it together, like Lucy and Ricky.
No, they're gonna get double over double bunk beds, and Buck's gonna claim top bunk.
No, because I think we talk about this in our episode that came out today, the episodes 9 and 10, where I had U-Haul theory, which was that literally every single one of Buck's breakups have to do with moving, and like all of them was like Abby left and Buck moved in, and Allie left. He asked Taylor to move in, but like that didn't work because, and she did, but like it didn't work because of the Lucy of it all. So then she left, and he asked Tommy, and Tommy said no. So this,
and Natalia's in the ether there somewhere.
Yeah, the couch that they never chose together. So that moot point. So like by making the space his own in Eddie's house, it is also now Buck's house. So this is the first time where like he would ask someone to stay, and they do, and it works.
Yeah,
it works out.
That actually works a lot better.
Like, I love the couch theory, and I would love to see Eddie's couch in there. But the idea of Buck's things,
I actually like that a lot.
And then Eddie coming home and coming home to Buck's things and still feeling at home is really beautiful. And it speaks so much to who they are, like as a family, to have,
because they are each other's homes. It's not the physical space.
Exactly. And as whoever's couch is more comfortable, I feel like when it's the two of them, that's going to be the deciding factor.
Okay, so adding on to that, then when Eddie moves back in, they're going to take Buck's couch out. They're going to put the blue couch back in. But then when it's like an amalgamation of both of them, right? But then when they like finally get together, they go in, they pick out a couch together.
Yes,
I love
that. That's what I would like. That's it.
I just remember that we did a Patreon poll for a topic, and there's a lull in the conversation, so maybe let's talk about the mystery that is episode 13.
It's invisible.
Thank you so much for voting.
It is invisible.
It is. It is invisible.
I know about it.
Invisible.
I see nothing. There's nothing in episode 13.
No, we really, that is literally the only thing that we know. And I have a feeling, I wouldn't be surprised if it changes, you know, like how sometimes they like change the titles. I think 2 weeks out is a little like close for them to change the title, but like it's happened before. They could.
Maybe they had to give a title for stuff.
A dummy. Yeah. I think they had to give a dummy title because we were supposed to get one 2 weeks ago.
We're calling,
or like a week ago.
We're calling
something like that,
an alleged 65-minute episode invisible, and it's not part of the 2-part emergency.
65 minutes so interesting. Is insane. That means Dr. Odyssey's not airing. Like that's
because they have all the gay they need with Eddie.
No. Dr. Odyssey would not be airing that night. What are they doing with the extra 25 minutes of the episode? That's what's weird and like a little crazy to me, because 65 minutes is like stupid.
They've never done
65 minutes of airtime, which means a 2-hour episode?
Yes.
Because that is what 65 minutes of airtime is. It's a 2-hour episode.
Can it be an hour and a half? Like a 90-minute block?
It would probably be 30 minutes. They have nothing to put in that 30 minutes.
Commercials.
It would have to be a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
It would have to be a 2-hour block.
Yeah.
Called Invisible After
Yeah.
Disconnected. And I'm gonna rip my desk apart.
EJ doesn't know what's happening. So
wait, who doesn't know what's happening?
Okay, so EJ, just to catch you up.
Oh, sorry.
EJ over on YouTube. No, it's fine. So you know how like I think they just released the title for 13, and it's at this point right now it's called Invisible. It might change, we don't know, but usually they release episode titles about 3 weeks out from the airing day, which was last week. And Hannah and I were on the phone and we were like, wait, are they going to release the title? And they didn't. And we were like, huh, that's weird. That's
and they
suspicious.
Released for every other series.
And they released for every other series. And we didn't get anything. They have been absolutely quiet on this. And so there was, I think it was another website that's, you know, allegedly said the titles for 13 and 14, 13 would be Invisible, 14 would be Sick Day. It wasn't updated yet on the website that everybody looks at. I think it's Futon Critic, and that's like the end all be all, because I think they pull from like guides from, like, and the stuff. Directories, so that is what it's titled right now, Invisible. The directors. And then someone, and I don't know where this is from, but someone posted a screenshot saying like with like 65 minutes right next to the title Invisible. So we're kind of assuming that it's going to be a long episode, as in more than the regular 42 minutes. We don't know yet if it's going to be like 65 minutes, as in like the hour block, like it goes from 8 to 9:05, or 65 minutes of the actual episode as opposed to 42. So then they would have to block out like 8 to 10, and then the other half would be like commercials.
I don't think because they're getting an extra 5 minutes. I don't think people even do that. No, the network would be like, shave 5 minutes off.
But then why aren't they promoting it like crazy? Like, tune in for our special double episode.
I think that's the thing, we have to wait till after 8/12.
Wait, what?
Yeah. When we get the promo for it?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna hear anything about 8/13 until 8/12.
And this is the thing too, where I'm like, okay, maybe Invisible is the title, but like, if the title was gonna be something like Eddie Begins Again, or a naming convention that's similar to Buck Bother Bewildered, they already showed their hand with like both of those. There's no way.
But also, exactly, because
so they'd have to just have us be hit with it when it airs.
First of all, Buck and Eddie are not the same people. So their realizations and their journeys are not the same. And I kind of like the idea that they are not just copy pasting Buck's journey onto Eddie. I like that. I like if that's what they're doing, and Eddie is going through
it requires that extra time.
If he's going through being disconnected, if he's going through losing, quote unquote, his family in LA and trying to figure out his space in Texas, and Invisible is like an extension of that. I love that, because Eddie deserves his own discovery. He deserves his own realization that has nothing to do with Buck and has nothing to do with any expectations that we have as an audience, because like, as lame as it is, like, I know he's a character, I know he's a fictional person or anything like that, but watching anyone realize who they are and learn to love who they are is just so fucking beautiful. And it's just so wonderful,
especially for a character who has always hated themselves.
Who's hated themselves and has been so repressed and so heartbroken every time. And every time he feels like he picks something, because he never chooses anything for himself. No. This man never chooses anything for himself. So whenever he chooses something, it's a disaster, because he never picks for himself. He is so self-sacrificial. And to watch him, like, between Disconnected and Invisible and anything else, like, to watch him come to that journey of realizing who he is and loving and accepting who he is independently of anybody else in 118 or anything else, I think would be wonderful. And if he realizes in that same time frame that he is also in love with Buck, then great. But if he doesn't realize it right away, then that's okay.
That's okay
too. Because he deserves a full arc, just like Buck deserves a full arc of figuring out who they are and what that identity means.
And it would just make sense, because like, we know that next week is going to be Maddie heavy. So it's going to be Maddie A plot, Eddie B plot. And there's just way too much for them to handle, even aside from like the feelings or the sexual
bitches who can't
get
have
awakening.
a conversation.
There's too much that he has to address before getting to that to deal with in a B plot,
right?
Or even being like B plot and then A plot.
No, so, I feel like the B plot is going to be the seeds.
So I think just really quick.
Wait, I was going to say something.
Can I finish my thought really quick?
Sorry.
I know you're on a delay. I think that so that 65 minutes is because we need to cover a lot more ground, and it's probably to give him either the whole time, because that's how much we do. We could use it all. He has a lot of shit to unpack, or it's so that they can give him like a very heavy episode while still addressing some other things going on in LA. They wouldn't be able to do that in a regular length episode.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm putting my money on a 90-minute block, only because like a 30-minute block has like about 21 or so minutes. So if you do the math,
the math is mathing.
The math is mathing. So I'm putting my money on a 90-minute block. Also, I love how my Thursday nights have been like as if I'm watching like a sports game.
So true.
I'm like, you're not only watching, you're reporting.
Yeah.
I hear the news.
TJ tells me good luck before every episode, and then when I go out in the 10 minutes between like our live reaction and live streaming, he's like, what happened? And I'm always saying something insane, like in confessions I was like, it was great. Eddie said he's straight. And then I go back in here.
So my husband is not home right now, but I feel like just my live reaction is a general consensus of how I try and talk to my husband about this, because I was legit trying to eat my own hands watching this episode, because it was so much. I couldn't handle it. Like, I still can't handle it. And I don't feel like we even got into so much of what was going on in that episode in this recap now, because there was just we didn't talk about Bobby and his mom. Like, there's so much with Bobby and his mom.
So much.
But there was so much more gay.
TikTok is
Nikki.
Eddie.
Hi, Nikki.
Like,
Nikki's here.
Where's Nikki?
Our Nikki?
Oh,
Nikki's on Twitter.
Hi, Nikki.
Oh my God. Nikki.
Sorry, Meg. Nikki said, I know
fine.
it's juicy when 911 stands are the first thing I see on my feed.
Nikki's and Rachel crashed out.
We're trying to get her caught up before like the end of the season. We really want her to be able. So Nikki is one of our best friends who is currently in season 4, and she'll be on the season 3 episode 2. Sorry, TikTok keeps going, you need to like be in TikTok, and keep saying it's gonna like take like can't whatever. So if you keep seeing me tweak out, that's why. Anyway, I keep telling her we want her to get caught up so she can appreciate this going canon with us, because she is also a victim of Supernatural. So we really want her to be able to
among others.
You're a survivor. You're a survivor of Supernatural. We understand. For sure.
But oh my God, we love you.
Sorry to interrupt you, Meg.
Nikki texted us just for the live. Nikki texted us, "Congrats, bitch!" right after the episode. I still think that's so funny.
I love all the interruptions from people who are actually talking.
What if I just put
because I feel like I just keep talking and never stop.
Is this okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna put this over here, and maybe making this bigger will make it less angry with me. Because like you have to have your video from TikTok Live Studio on the screen.
Yeah.
So like I have me really tiny in the corner, but I don't know.
Now I can see you.
I'm sure it's fine.
But I can't see you guys as well. But yeah, we never touch on Bobby and his mom and that weird shit, because so much of this.
Oh no! Is it the flag?
God.
Is it back?
Yeah.
Swat it.
No.
That was insane.
The whole tennis racket.
Why is this in here twice?
But it was so gay.
Gonna see me freak out about a bug. So
no, it's fine. Every episode of this season has been gayer than the episode beforehand, and I don't know what to say anymore.
Which is saying a lot.
I love watching the Buddy Super Bowl.
Yeah, like I'm okay. So I'm a straight.
Playoffs.
I am a straight.
I'm a straight. I'm gonna throw this out
zapper.
I'm a bug zapper straight. I'm a straight. My husband is also a straight. My husband has not been able to watch an episode without being like, "That's really fucking gay," to every single thing that happens, and not in a derogatory way, just in like I literally
Factual.
just no. So my husband, it's March Madness. My husband literally just imitated anal sex with his best friend, like full on thrusting into his best friend, and that was less gay than the U-Haul scene that we watched. Is what I am saying. I don't know how to equate it to anything.
Can someone
I'm so sorry.
Can someone logged into a TikTok account that isn't the Buddy System account?
Yes, I can.
Go on and see if our sound sounds doubled.
Give me 1 sec.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna meet me here though.
Oh dear. Hey, it wouldn't be us if we didn't have technical difficulties, so thanks for hanging in.
You know what would be great? If I could just use a stream key like every other fucking social media app.
Gotta be different.
Oh yeah, they gotta be special.
Gotta be special.
Yeah, apparently some people can, but it's just like TikTok with the group chats. They're like, it's only for certain people. I'm like, could I be one of the certain people?
For real.
Is it?
Okay, so I nearly gave myself a migraine.
Oh god.
Because I heard this whole conversation and then in TikTok I heard it again. So the sound is working fine in TikTok.
Okay, but it's not like you hear us like duplicated.
No.
Okay.
No, I hear this and then I hear that, but I don't hear
Okay.
It's fine.
I just wanted to make sure.
EJ says, I think TikTok just hates Han because it
does.
You're so true.
It's
and
my
fault.
fault.
And I remember last week
I'm
saying that I was gonna make one of them do it this week, but Rachel's on a fucking cruise and Sill's our reporter.
TikTok is notoriously biphobic.
That's true.
Like, we can't trust it.
I was I joined Rin's live before last week's episode. And I was saying something completely innocuous when it kicked me out for hate
on Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, on Wednesday. And it was like, you're banned for a week from live streaming. And I was like, we need to live stream tomorrow. Like I appealed it and they like removed it, but yeah, I don't know. Whatever they have to like.
I love your faces.
I love your face too.
I'm a little tipsy. I'm feeling good tonight.
Shocking.
I should have grabbed more wine.
Oh, whoops. I didn't know I could do this.
Oh my god! Wow, why haven't we been doing this?
You can't. Wow. You didn't know you could do this.
I didn't know.
That would be so helpful for me.
We know that this is an OBS system, but we don't use it like one.
Wow.
When I say we, I mean me. The problem is that I can't be like if I could be in
I don't know what I'm doing.
And Rachel could be doing TikTok live, then I could do this kind of stuff in StreamYard, but I can't do both.
So Bobby said that he put in a good word.
We could do that in
a firehouse in El Paso. We don't necessarily know if that means Eddie is working in a firehouse in El Paso. But I think from what we've seen on IMDb that it's a veristimization that Eddie.
What if we are getting dispatcher Eddie?
He would hate that.
Disconnected.
No. I want him to be miserable in non-professional ways.
I think he's gonna be miserable whether he
in all the ways
working as a firefighter anyway.
No, I love that you can put the questions up on there because it's
that's great.
I didn't know this. I feel so powerful now.
Oh, Rachel's gonna like
no, please do that for me. I need that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Helps me too because I can't see any of the comments from YouTube.
I know.
So,
YouTube and Twitter, I think.
Did we finish talking about episode 13?
13? Not really, but like, what is there really to talk about?
I mean, there's nothing else.
Like,
most of it's just like pontificating anyway. So
I love that my husband just texted me with the news that he told me 3.5 hours ago.
Oh shit! He said what?
My husband 4 hours ago gave me news that one of his coworkers is pregnant, and he just texted me telling me the same news now because he's drunk.
You're like, congratulations on the twins.
Like,
okay.
Congratulations, bruh. My husband. Okay.
I'm also still stuck on what Buck said on the kitchen rock. I will be living there for the rest of forever, actually.
We all are.
No.
Until they're together.
Hannah, I'm prepared to set aside 3.5 hours tomorrow to rewatch this episode and dissect it because
that's going to be my complete consciousness until I drive. Down to DC. Sorry, Rachel, stuck in the kitchen scene, specifically where Buck is like, I don't have to want to sleep with everyone I have feelings with, and I don't have to have it. Yeah.
No, this is where I died.
About
Rock,
that, bro.
No, Rock. This is where I melted off the chair, and you didn't see me. I died.
It was wild, even without that.
No, I could not. I can't even function because. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Did anyone say Holy Mother of God in the episode?
No.
No.
That's one of those
thematic ones.
No, I'm sorry, Buck. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? You had to sleep with someone everyone you have feelings for, Buck. What do you? He just brought up Eddie.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
He did admit that he had feelings for him, but like not to himself.
What do you mean? I'm literally crawling out of
my
He was
skin. Trying to stand on business.
What do you mean?
And he did. Well, he did stand on business, and I'm really proud of him, actually.
Yes. But it backfired in the way that like he didn't actually hear the words going out of his mouth.
No.
And what they meant.
No. What do you mean? Buck? what do you mean? Like, I need explicit.
I can't wait to watch our reaction to that back because we were all just like, what? Wait, what? We were
I semi stood up. I was holding my Spider-Man cuddly.
I don't think in the first watch I did it, but the second rewatch, like when we rewound and watched it, I literally fell out of my chair. I was like, I could not, because what? This is straight out of fan fiction. These past 3 episodes have been nothing but fan fiction for my cold, dead middle-aged heart.
I think it's a testament to how well and consistent they write Buck and everyone, but Buck and Eddie's characters.
Oh, for sure.
That the fan fiction tropes, I mean, like all of the tropes for Buddy are tropes everywhere, right? Like generalized, but that like how they play out for Buck and Eddie,
that characterization,
it's so natural.
In fic is how it's actually playing out in the show. Like,
God bless fic writers, man. Like
we have fantastic fic writers, and I'm so happy that I was in part of 2 fandoms that had amazing fic writers. And again, I said, but this is the first time in forever that I didn't feel like I was crazy for seeing the things I say. I see and like getting those vibes, and I'm so excited, and I'm so obnoxious about it, and I would apologize, but I'm not really that sorry. Because
you have apologized so many times tonight.
I
don't
try.
Need to, though.
It's the cancer in me, damn it.
I know.
This is fanfic season.
The season is the fanfic season.
Yeah. Can we just watch this clip from the episode?
Yes.
The kitchen.
Yes.
Share it. We'll see if TikTok yells at us.
Wait, let me see if I can actually do this, because I think I have to be. Fuck my life. Hold on. No, it's because I have to be in the same Chrome browser to do this, and it's really fucking annoying.
Can you send it to Rachel to do?
No.
Oh.
I'm not sure
Sorry.
you want me to do it.
I don't think we want Rachel to do it.
Hi, Nikki.
Nikki. We love seeing our fanfic dreams play out.
I don't want to do that to us.
Especially love that I got
painful.
frat content. You guys got butt. Yes. What? I'm winning so hard this week. Actually,
the same.
No, it's amazing. I love Tommy bringing up. I love that Tommy was like acknowledged that Eddie was competition. Whether Tommy thought of Eddie as romantic competition or just like a devotion or relationship competition to him.
Yeah.
I love that he brought it up. I also love that Maddie is like, what's wrong if you are in love with your best friend? I like chef's kiss all around for all of it. Buck, why are you so dumb? I love you so much. You're so pretty.
He looks so good.
He looks so good in this scene.
It's so funny. He has so that like pretty. The stubble happening, and they need to let him have it more.
Oh shit! I want to die.
That combo with the curly hair is lethal.
Like he's so hot. God,
I'm playing the thing.
He's a baby.
You know, I don't have to want to sleep with everyone I have feelings for, and I don't have to have feelings for everyone I sleep with.
Like, no, I'm just gonna
eat. Mean?
I'm gonna eat my whole. I'm gonna eat my.
I'm gonna need you.
Who said you did?
I need you to rewind and say that again.
I'm gonna eat my yourself. I'm gonna eat my arm. We're never gonna get through the scene, you guys.
You know, I don't have to want to sleep with everyone I have feelings for, and I don't have to have feelings for everyone I sleep with.
Sorry, I have to pause on this.
Boy. Got it. Well,
totally normal.
Hey, what's happening? I have a shift later.
He just said he doesn't have feelings for Tommy, though. Like,
last night.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Why are you being such a bitch, Tommy?
Sleep with everyone I have feelings for, and I don't have
to
have
repeat. This is the rest of the night, guys.
We're just watching it again for one.
Got it.
Yeah.
God, though.
Oh, break his heart every time. Fuck Tommy.
But like
the
way he delineates that, right? Because he's obviously, they're talking about Eddie, so Eddie is obviously in that first camp of like,
this is
feelings
right.
for, and then Tommy is in the second camp of people he doesn't have feelings for.
Right, because this is right after Tommy
took offense to
Eddie.
That. It literally means
right
nothing.
after Tommy brings up Eddie as competition. Like, Eddie literally is like, I'm glad, like, we can maybe try again now that the competition, Eddie, is gone. And then he straight up says Eddie's name.
And this
as
is the most we've ever seen Tommy, like, actually do for Buck. So maybe he was actually like, maybe we can act. No, not even a personality. I'm talking about like making him breakfast and like apologize, like, and like
the most effort.
Talking about like wanting to try again, basically. But like that really was just because Eddie's
also
gone.
because like in Tommy's defense as like a person, it's really hard to be the person for someone who already has a person. You know, and that's not because I'm like, oh yay, Tommy is great, but like I totally understand being in the place where you're like, okay, so my boyfriend has a boyfriend, or my boyfriend has a husband who's already taking care of all of his needs. That there's nothing for me really to do for him. But like this, like, first of all, second of all, I hate the way the handles on these cupboards are. I don't know who did that.
Nikki's got to go to bed. Love you, Nikki.
I love you, Nikki.
Good night, Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for texting us.
Sorry,
yeah.
No, you're totally fine. I
Rachel, did you have a thought that you
Rachel had a thought that I feel like she's about to lose.
Thanks. I did have a thought. The whole thing of the conversation that we're talking about now, where it's like, you know, alluding to Eddie being who he has feelings for, Tommy who he doesn't have feelings for. It's the same thing as what Eddie said in 809, where it's like, if you're asking me to choose between you and Eddie, you're going to lose every time. It's the same thing. Because nobody was asking that either, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ugh,
Oh my god.
crazy work.
Oh my god.
Aw,
Oh,
man.
gosh.
I don't
gosh.
like this.
Oh crap.
Just press
It's
stop
ringing
sharing.
out?
There you go. You got it.
Oh.
I hate that it's logged out.
No, but like I actually feel for
Ooh,
Tommy
thank you.
a bit in this episode more than I have in a lot of
Thank
ways.
you.
Because not
Thank you,
because
EJ.
like I don't like Tommy. Don't get me wrong.
No, I don't.
I'm
either.
not like, oh,
I
this
think-
poor
I think
guy
they
or
proved
anything
that
like
you don't.
that. But I love him again as a plot device
Oh, he's a great plot device.
of bringing up that Buck's feelings have never been about Tommy. And I think frankly, I think it's kind of sad that Tommy went back with him and like hooked up with him.
Yeah.
But I could get it. I could get him.
I mean,
like,
it's
yeah,
Buck.
let me have, like, this is a hot young guy that who wants
Can't
to
blame
fuck
him,
me. But it's like
He's wifey material.
it's the same situation that caused them to break up months ago at this point. Like it's nothing has changed.
Well, he thinks it
And-
has because Eddie's moved.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
well, even I was gonna say, even though Buck thinks maybe it's changed,
No,
and then Tommy thinks maybe it's changed because Eddie has moved.
Buck,
Like,
Buck doesn't think it's changed. That's why he was clarifying, because he was like, "You don't think I'm going to break your heart anymore?" Because that, like, he doesn't understand why they broke up.
right. I'm so
and
sorry.
for Tommy, because
but
out
Tommy
at the
was
bar,
like, Eddie's gone. Eddie's gone. So then maybe like Eddie
I don't
straight
think-
up like Eddie straight up said Eddie's not competition anymore because Eddie was very clearly Eddie is who he was thinking of when he was saying, "I am not your last, I am your first."
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that was
Oh,
like
100%.
I don't think he would have
obviously,
gone.
that is like confirmed.
I don't
And
think
had
he would have
Eddie-
gone home with Buck at all if he didn't know that Eddie
right
moved.
was gone. Yeah, I mean, I think he may have gone home with Buck for a hookup.
I think he would have gone home, realized it was Eddie's place, and left. That's
Maybe. But
that's the
I
thing.
mean,
I was-
we cannot pretend to know the mind of a horny man.
That's true. I do not think that Tommy would have gone home with him if he didn't.
Yeah.
know.
Again, I
Yeah.
think we don't. I
Yeah.
think we underestimate the horny man
That's true.
because I spent
None of us are
plenty
men.
of time. I spent plenty of time fucking horny men, and they don't care until post nut clarity. once they nut, then things make sense to them in their brains, and that's what happened with Tommy. They hooked up. Tommy was like, "Oh fuck, where are we?" And then he was like, "Oh well, Eddie's gone, so things could maybe work out now." And the second
He said it while they were making out,
yeah,
before they
and-
got to the bedroom.
yeah.
It's like,
That
why
was
does this
his
place look familiar?
that was his impression, though. Like
That's awkward.
Buck let him believe that until
That's
they hooked up.
crazy.
And then Buck got weird once Tommy was like, "This is Eddie's house." Like, I feel for Tommy in this episode. This man did nothing
At
wrong
his
in
own
this
house.
episode.
At his own house. Damn.
At his own
His own
house.
house. Oh, this is interesting.
No.
Do you think Eddie will have a male romantic relationship in Texas before Buddy happens, or will it just go to Eddie's realization and then boom, Buddy? I don't think it'll go boom, Buddy. But that is fun to say. I think honestly one of the reasons, and we will see this hopefully come to fruition. One of the reasons why Tommy said, "I'm your first, I'm not your last," and Buck saying, "But why can't you be both?" is specifically setting up Buck being both for Eddie.
Yeah. I can see Eddie like kissing someone and maybe hooking up with someone. I don't think he's gonna date.
Maybe.
anyone.
No.
I feel like we might meet a best friend of Eddie's from high school that Eddie was really
Yeah.
I love this
I do
theory.
like that.
I love
It's
that.
really, really close with. And
Uh-huh.
there was nothing romantic between the two of them, but he was really, really close. And I feel like them being so close set off alarm bells with Eddie's parents or his friend's parents
Mhm.
that kind of
Mhm.
shut that down. I don't think that was it doesn't even have to be romantic. It was just a really, really close friendship with Eddie and a friend from high school, romantic or platonic. But I feel like his parents and his town or society's reaction to that close friendship really shaped how Eddie viewed male friendships and platonic or masculine. Kind of
like what Shadow was saying, like it's something that
yes,
that shaped
Shadow, exactly. Yes.
But here's my only problem with that theory is like, how would he realize he's gay because of this, but then not equate that with his feelings for Buck?
Right. Like like the second half of like his high school friend being gay and stuff like that, like I don't think that is really relative to it. I think just Eddie recognizing the difference between
really, I'm saying how do you go, I realize you're gay because you're thinking back on a past friendship where you were really close with someone, and then not connecting that with your current weirdly close friendship.
There has to be, I was about to say there has to be a disconnect there, but
disconnected? So crazy. No, I feel like there is like if you go back to if you go to a high school reunion, you see someone that you had a crush on in high school, like you can recognize the difference between like a crush and love, right? Like I went to my high school's 20-year reunion and I saw people had a crush on in high school. And that was nothing compared to the love I had for my husband. And you can tell that difference between those things. I don't think whomever Eddie had any kind of initial feelings for, I don't think their sexuality matters near as much as anything else as Eddie being able to recognize, this is not what,
for sure.
But like, this is not what friendship feels like.
For sure. But it would just like, because he's so smart, but he's so stupid when it comes to his own feelings. I know, but it would make it a lot easier for him to get there if that friend is now married to a man.
If someone was like, "Hey, you remember how gay we were for each other?" What?
sees Eddie's phone background and it's him and Buck and Christopher. It's like,
oh, look at your husband.
So glad we're not
like, I'm sorry, what?
What happened to Shannon? Because they were all in high school together. Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't even think of that. Like, Shannon, and then he has to keep telling people, "Oh, she died.
She's dead."
Okay, can we talk about I know the dreaded timeline. Can we talk about that for a second? Because I think Tim was actually correct with what he said about the time jump not happening until like the time jump happened before Eddie moved, so before the goodbye scene. Because this seems to be right after the goodbye scene,
which was like the vaguest way he could have worded that.
Yeah, I mean, but it makes, after watching this episode, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was not a normal reaction after like if it was 3 months, that was a really weird reaction to suddenly start being like Buck just
it was like
into
it was like
the
a couple
apartment.
weeks.
Right.
No, I get that.
Only been a couple
weeks.
Weeks.
And like not spending a night over.
Do you think he's
only at Maddie and Jimmy's? Like that wouldn't have.
Because they make it sound like he's not.
I don't think so.
It makes
he's
sense.
not talking.
I don't think he is. No, because at that second conversation that he had with Maddie, and he's like,
picking up. I have it up. If you guys
maybe I should call him.
Yes.
What?
I said I do have the Maddie clip. I'm not sure if it's all of it, but
oh yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, because I think she says like, thank you. I think Buck was saying like, yeah, maybe I should call him. And Maddie is obviously like thinking he's talking to Eddie, and she's like, yeah, I think you should. I think Eddie has said somewhere in there. And then Buck is like, no, I was talking about Tommy. So I don't think he's talking to Eddie. I think
he says, I'll probably call him too. But like,
yeah,
he says something like, I think I'll probably call him too, but I meant Tommy.
Oh, my broken heart.
He feels bad for being mean.
Yeah. She looks so good. I love
I see the flowers
CLH's
now.
hair.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe some roses and carnations.
It looks like
I'm
some.
the worst person to ask about what
Those are not
flowers
roses. I don't see any roses in there. I see
Those aren't.
maybe some carnations or dahlias.
Which
would be really if it was a dahlia, that'd be really messed up. because of the black dahlia.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him.
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
Yes.
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Well, except that I'm not. As much as everyone seems to want me to be hopelessly pining for my straight best friend, it just isn't like that. I mean, just does not having him in my life and in the field leave a big hole? Yeah, it does, sure.
Okay, so did you explain that to Tommy?
I'm dying.
Eddie's old house.
Oh man, I thought it was
in the meanest way possible.
I'm dying. Like,
can you play it again?
Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him.
Are you?
Are you?
Okay, we have to pause here.
I can't.
People are making comparisons between this and his reaction.
She asked him.
Oh, to Josh. When Josh asked if he was in love with Tommy, and he was like,
I can't. I can't do this. I've been such a brave soldier.
And we are rewinding, and we are playing.
Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him.
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Well, except that I'm not. As much as everyone seems
what was
to
that
want
little
me to be
smile?
What was that? Wait,
what was that about?
Wait.
Look at her face. Look at her
I must
face.
be in love with him.
Look at her face.
Wait.
She's like,
Are you? Okay. Okay.
She said, "Oh, I'm so sure."
I love that this is still live for anyone to watch us be totally normal.
In love with Eddie.
What is this? What is that?
Hey,
what is this face?
Buckley. What
Buckley, Buckingham Buckley.
He's like,
what is happening?
He's so like affronted by even the notion.
Okay.
You guys are gonna have to tell me. You guys are gonna have to tell me when to pause.
Never pause. Like every frame.
Okay, we're just doing the.
Yeah, it's the way he smiles when he's denying it and thinking it's crazy, but he's smiling because he's thinking about it.
Hang on.
He's like,
if
that would be nice.
If anyone is wondering what we do on Fridays,
this is it.
This is it.
I want to join.
But yeah, I need a side by side with this face versus the one he made when
the
Josh
one where he looks gross, like he just farted by accident.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Now we can't hear them.
I want to get to her face when she's like, "But I'm not."
This is what again, but I'm not.
And I want to see her being like, "I'm so sure." That.
Yeah.
She's like,
Rock said Buck bakes when he's in his feelings. Yes. Yes, he does.
Pining for my straight
He is good.
Do you notice how?
Do you know how many times he said Eddie is straight in the scene? At least twice.
More times than Eddie has said it.
Do you know how easy it is to tell that Tommy is a plot device?
You know what? I'm just gonna literally crawl into my own shirt and die.
Because how many conversations has he had with Maddie while he's been in a relationship or a rebound hookup with Tommy? And the conversation is never about Tommy.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's always about Eddie.
There you have it.
Always.
There you have it.
Eddie.
It's always about Eddie.
It's always about my goddamn
it's always gonna be
Buddy and Eddie.
Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him.
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
The less my best friend talks
except
to me
that
about
I'm
the
not.
show, the more
as much
I know
as everyone
Buddy's
seems to want me to be hopelessly pining for my straight best friend, it just isn't like that. He just does not having him in my life. And
okay, hang on.
He made a face when he said straight best friend too.
Wait, I almost fell out of my seat again because I can't handle it.
I am paused. It's delayed, Rachel.
Oh, it took
forever.
No, but the fact that like he could so easily say like, I'm sorry. The fact is he could so easily say like, everybody wants me to be in love with my best friend, but the fact that he has to reiterate and reinforce the idea
to himself
straight best
and
friend,
the general
as
audience.
in like that is no
like,
one's
sexuality has been announced so much as Eddie's in the past this season.
That's like, exactly my point.
Eddie's exactly. No, Eddie's sexuality is the only sexuality that's ever been like announced to anybody and ever like maybe once Hen said she was gay.
Someone pointed out that none of the straights on the show had their sexuality pointed out like
never once.
Like
exactly.
Hen, like I said, Hen maybe once said she was gay, and I think it was like when they were trying to treat a bigot. But no one else's sexuality or anything like that has ever been announced. Eddie's straightness has been announced twice in this episode so far.
Bobby,
and once
the
by
first
him
episode is in a confessional
and
with hot gay priest. Here's firework go off, and he doesn't feel the need to say, "Hey,
by the
I'll
way,
confess to you, but by the way, I'm straight."
I'm straight. No, like at least 3 times in this season, it's been mentioned that Eddie is straight, and none of the times has been a official or reliable narrator in the situation. Eddie saying he's straight is again like Chekhov's gun, right? Like
it is unreliable narrator. Exactly.
No, it's absolutely like he said he's straight in the first act of the season, which means it has to be debunked within the
second half.
Within the second half of the season.
Double, like they're doubling up on like, okay, so that was in the first half. We're going to remind you that we said this in the second half as it's going.
And Buck clarifying that he can't be in love with his straight best friend.
The emphasis,
a whole like it emphasizes Eddie's quote
Everyone
unquote
wants me to
straightness.
Be hopelessly pining.
Yes,
and that was very meta of them.
And it emphasizes the fact that Buck is in love with his quote unquote straight best friend and is pining for his straight best friend, and he's just not ready to deal with it.
And he thinks that he can't have because he's straight.
Like it's the unknown,
and that's
unrequited.
The only reason.
Like he thinks it's unrequited, but it's not. And I can't wait till we can see Eddie's point of view, where we can learn as a general audience and everybody else that it's not. Like I'm gonna eat my own. I'm literally gonna eat my own legs.
Oh, we've moved on to the legs now.
I can't. I only have so many body parts.
Can you pause on the face that she makes when he says straight best friend?
He seems to want me to be hopelessly pining for my straight best friend. It just isn't like that. I mean, this.
She's like, oh, honey.
if anyone has ever believed anyone, it is not Maddie Hahn.
Oh my God.
She does not believe a thing Buck says.
No. Maddie is all of us, Rock. Absolutely.
Oh my God, she's so priceless. I love her so
honey,
much.
You're straight. I'm like, sure, maybe.
She's like, I'm so sure Eddie's so straight, and I'm so sure that you are not in love with him.
No, Rock, you are correct. Maddie is all of us. We are all Maddie. We are all just living vicariously through her.
Except for when she's in her baby.
We will never.
We don't want any part of that.
But we will never see Buck calling. We'll never see Buck calling Eddie for more than like a couple seconds. We'll never see Eddie calling Buck for more than a little bit until they have a chance to be together and actually.
Yeah.
There's a reason this season that Buck and Eddie have never really had a deep conversation.
Yeah,
because they can't.
I think that's why they can't really show them talking while he's in Texas.
Exactly.
Because how do you just hang out and not talk when it's over FaceTime or a phone call?
They can FaceTime and like chat for a little bit, but like it'll be mostly pleasantries.
Yes.
But there's a reason why Buck and Eddie haven't had that one-on-one stuff that we're so used to seeing from them. And it's because they can't yet. Like they can't. There's so much between them. There's so much love. There's so much pain. There's so much angst. There's so much between them that I honestly feel like that's a whole episode of just them trying to
reconnect,
figure out who they are to each other, who they are to themselves. And until the show itself allows them to confront their feelings for each other, they're just not allowed to have that time together, because there's no way for them to have that time together without mounting that. Like they just can't. That is why
they have to keep them apart.
Yeah, that's why Bobby, Hen, and Chim popped in right when Buck was trying to tell Eddie that he rented his house, was because they couldn't.
Nope, it couldn't continue.
They can't have that much time together to have that conversation yet. It's
I have
coming, though,
two comments. KT Blub says she really thought she was going to be able to break through to him with that "Are you?" I don't know if she thought she was going to, but she's asking the important questions, hoping that something will bounce around in the walls of his head.
If anyone could, it'd be Maddie.
Yeah. And then Rock says, I think Eddie and E is really going to happen, and that's why Buck's with Athena, I feel. And I also feel.
Yes.
What? Maybe we're going to get a...
I'm scare-sighted.
We're going to get a taking, maybe a taking of Dispatch parallel?
Maybe that's disconnected.
Yes. I think that's too soon. I think we're talking this for like 14, 15.
14, 15.
Wait.
I'm never gonna sleep again.
What if it's a Bettina Buddy parallel too, where it's also like maybe Bobby?
Wait, I'm sorry, Rachel. What?
Rachel, go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say like maybe it's also like a Bettina and Buddy parallel too, where like Bobby might be in peril, because like there's so much like just Bobby and Eddie like parallels and fucking Athena parallels, and then to like have them team up with each other to like, because so Buck would team up with Athena to save them, and Bobby and Eddie might be in like quarantine or whatever together, and like Eddie have this conversation with Bobby as also like like relating to each other on like a religious sense, but also like Bobby as kind of like a pseudo father figure to Buck, and like father-in-law to Eddie sort of thing, and that would be so good.
No, thank you.
Because then also like Eddie could kind of get like that final almost like approval from Bobby as well.
I also feel like Bobby needs to be able to redeem himself with his advice.
Okay, I'm gonna say no thank you. I'm gonna say no thank you, because please leave Bobby and Athena alone. Just let them let them have some peace for just a moment.
No,
honestly,
they can't.
No. Bobby and Athena have been through a lot.
So has everyone.
Everyone, you know who hasn't been through a lot? Buck and Eddie. Like, I just want No, let's think about it. Maddie and Chim just went through the whole serial killer thing. Ken and Karen went through Denny
and Mara.
We had this thought the other day.
Bobby and Athena just went through their thing with the plane and stuff. Whose turn is it?
It's Buck and Eddie's theory, but that doesn't mean that Bobby can't be in danger.
Right. But that's the thing.
But I'm tired of everyone else in this family being in danger.
I know, but to what you were saying, absolutely. I think we did talk about that in our episodes 9 and 10.
It was inspired by a Reddit post.
Yeah, because it's like they have set a pattern, right, where it's all of the couples having these emergencies together, but the people who are left
and their kids in danger,
but the people who have not been touched in that way are Buck and Eddie and Chris, and it's just kind of like,
but they all had emergencies together.
Yes.
I had someone who has never watched the show who I was trying to explain Buck and Eddie's dynamic to today, which was as successful as one might think. Say, well, hang on, one of them has a kid. That kid has to be in mortal danger, and that's how they're going to get together. I'm like, sir, bite your tongue.
Oh, Christopher is absolutely in danger. It's happening. It's just a question of if it's in Texas or LA.
I think it's going to be at the end of the season.
every other child in a family grouping has been in danger. It's Christopher's turn.
Yeah,
he hasn't been in danger since
maybe it's end of the season, and that is
what fuels the Eddie
realization.
Exactly.
Because we cracked it. So, add that onto the AP theory.
So it sounds like Eddie is back in LA before the end of the season.
Well, duh.
So are we thinking? Yeah. No, are we thinking like he goes and talks to Christopher and they figure their stuff out, and Christopher agrees to come back at the end of the school year? Or do we think they're just pushing the timeline?
I don't know.
Can someone confirm if Twitter's broken?
I'm not going to think about time. What?
I won't
think about timeline, but I'll tell you my thought after I look for Syl, because she needs confirmation. Is it broken? No.
I will be your father figure.
It's not broken for me.
It's not refreshing, and I'm like,
oh, weird. Okay, I refreshed it twice. Okay. So
I love that we still have this picture of Maddie. Just
wait, please back up.
Queen. No, it's so great.
Oh, so well. I
not having him in my life and in the field leave a big hole. Yeah,
that is so normal, Buck.
In my life,
normal.
In the field.
Look at this situation. What is happening? Also, who has a brown fridge, Maddie? What kind of bougie bitch are you?
It's quirky.
Can I say the thing before it goes away, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Say it.
I think that, and this is partially because of like Gavin being in school, not being able to film as much, that I think too is part of the reason. But narratively, and if we're putting any logic into the 911 universe, it makes sense for Christopher to stay in Texas until he finishes his school year. Yep. So what I'm thinking is that like they have the whole reconciliation, and then he sends Eddie home because he's like, you're fucking miserable. You're miserable. I'm coming home. Go home and like make sure we have a home for me to come home to. Yeah. Right. So he goes home. They have the whole NDE 14, 15, 16, maybe 17. It's going to be 17 or 18, probably 18 is what I'm thinking. He comes home, and that's when the Christopher NDE happens, and that is when the feelings realization happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because then it's also like, sorry, Syl.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just like, yes.
Co-signed.
Co-signed. But that would also be like a really great full circle moment to, again, the tsunami, because like we know that Eddie knows that Buck would do anything for Christopher. That's why he put him in the will in the first place.
Yeah.
But to have that like reinforced after the whole Buck taking over Eddie's lease sort of thing, so it's like it's not just Christopher, it's Eddie too. Yeah. Because so much has been like like Chris has been the focus, right? And it's just like it would be that perfect like 303 parallel.
There'd be also never seen him. Like, he didn't see any of the stuff in 303. He just saw the aftermath.
There'd be so much, too, though, because if they come back mid-lease and Buck can't get a lease, so there's only one bed in forced proximity and unknown, not unrequited, because I feel like Buck is going to be coming on to his feelings, like, with a quickness. I feel like that is like on the brink of happening. So we'll have Buck maybe realizing that he has feelings for Eddie, and Eddie is back, and Buck doesn't have anywhere to go, so he is staying with Eddie and Christopher, because Christopher will obviously be coming home. Or if he's not coming home, probably still not wanting to sleep in Christopher's bed, because Buck has never slept in Christopher's bed, even when Christopher's not around. Like, that's canon. Buck and Eddie have slept in bed together during COVID. Like, that's a canon situation.
Is it canon? Because I'm always like, I don't remember.
Implied.
It's implied, but it's not shown.
I'm sorry, it's implied canon, but like it feels widely accepted as a situation where they were all sharing an apartment together.
He's not sharing a bed with hen or chimney.
Right.
No, you can't put 3 air mattresses in the bottom of the wall.
Would Eddie have taken the couch?
No. Eddie and Eddie, like there is no configuration that would make sense other than Eddie and Buck in the bed together.
And in the field, leave a big hole. Yeah, it does. Sure.
Okay,
does he leave a big hole?
That to Tommy?
Eddie's old house.
Okay.
Are we okay?
But I feel like
we're big again.
Look at us.
I lost my train. I lost my train of thought. Damn it, son of a bitch. I feel like everything is basically
proximity.
It's all leading to Buddy. Is all I am saying. All of the things, but I had a more eloquent way of saying that, and
it's all coming up, Buddy.
It's all coming up, Buddy. And I, for one, am just like obnoxiously excited for the ride, and I'm so grateful that you guys are letting me like glom onto you so I can go along with you in my like.
We're becoming each week.
I have to full scene,
more and more insufferable.
Oh
yay!
Okay,
make us smell again.
Again, a feral gremlin who is
tiny.
Tiny. Like, give me a link and I will.
All right, we already watched all on this.
No, we can keep watching though.
Welcome back, Whoop.
In the way possible.
Wait.
It does. Sure. In the field, leave a big hole. Yeah, it does. Sure.
Okay, so did you explain Tommy?
In the meanest way possible. I understand him feeling threatened by what me and Eddie have.
What do you guys have?
I'm just gonna eat my whole shirt.
What is this messy thing between you?
What is this thing? What is this thing?
You guys, I'm gonna die because no straight man says this. I can't
Megan's gonna give herself a stroke, I think.
I can't wait to show my husband.
Threatened by what me and Eddie have. He seemed so relieved he was gone. It pissed me off.
Why are we both wording it like this?
Okay.
By what me and Eddie have, not like mine and Eddie's friendship, which would be the normal thing to
like
say.
My friendship with Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay. So my husband is a very straight man.
Yes, we know.
Or
I can confirm I've met him.
I keep like, please confirm. You've met my husband, Hannah.
Yes.
You know he is a straight man.
Yes.
He loves the ladies.
Except for that guy, and where was it? Was it Ireland?
Scotland. Neil, the Enterprise rental man that both of us were willing to leave the other one for. And we totally understood. He was that was the most attractive man.
He was telling me this at Ren Fair. It was like the funniest thing ever.
He was the most attractive man. He was the most attractive man either of us have ever seen in our lives. Like, he came to pick us up with our car, and I was in my robe, and I had to slam the door in his face to go get dressed and get pretty for him because I was not pretty enough. He was early.
Rock, what do you want me to look at? I'm sorry. Rock said, "Hand, look at this." What am I looking at?
I'm gonna tell you, my non-homophobic, weird, gross, whatever husband who thought the U-Haul scene was super gay.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not listening. No, he don't.
No.
This man does not know what he is saying.
Wait, can you put that back up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't. It was covering Meg's face.
He just say pissed him off.
Okay.
I was relieved Eddie was
just
gone,
my
bro.
face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did say that.
And I'll play it again.
Oh yeah.
It's him being upset again that like no one else is as upset as he is.
All I'm saying
did you
is
explain that to
my
Tommy?
heterosexual, secure in his masculinity husband has never. None of this has ever been a thing.
No.
And again,
in the meanest way possible.
he humped his best friend today.
God.
I'm
Okay,
struggling here.
Let's play the
I
scene.
understand him feeling threatened by what me and Eddie have. He seemed so relieved he was gone. It pissed me off. And him feeling threatened by what me and Eddie have. He seemed so relieved he was gone. It pissed me off. It felt like he was accusing me of something. Is this what he's been thinking the whole time we were together?
Yes.
I don't know.
What?
What? It sucks. Okay.
She said, "I don't know." Like, yes.
Able to sleep in this place.
What?
You know what? Maybe you shouldn't be living there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you said that you haven't even unpacked.
The whole time we were together.
I don't know.
What?
It sucks. Okay. That was the first night I was actually able to sleep in this place.
Okay, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be living there. I mean, you said that you haven't even unpacked yet.
Yeah. I think maybe I don't want to unpack, because as soon as I do that,
normal.
It means Eddie and Chris aren't coming back. For real. I should call him, huh?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. It's not like he moved to Mars.
Not Eddie.
It's not like he's dead.
I will call him.
Stop telling everyone he's dead.
I should apologize. He's probably right. Was using him as a distraction so I didn't have to feel alone.
I
Not
am
the best
dead.
reason to get back together with someone.
I'm dead.
Maybe it's time you learn the lesson again. How to be alone.
I hate that lesson.
Again, Abby.
Kill me.
Yeah.
Kill me. Kill me. I'm dead. Like, I broke
Oh
every
my
part of my
God.
body, falling out of my chair.
So
I was
much of
literally
this,
kicking my
so
feet
much
of
for
this.
that whole thing.
Oh, by the way, Tim Minear confirmed that he did not call Tommy in one of the interviews.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
This is
that feels like a and
know
we're done
that's
with
right.
that now.
You know what I loved? I thought I was gonna go to bed at a reasonable time tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You did say that.
Yeah. I did. And I'm literally chewing off my own fingers because this is a whole
Rock, I did see what you said. I think I said that earlier. Maybe we said it. I said it while you typed it. But yes, Eddie said this thing between us, and Buck is saying what me and Eddie have. So interesting that you can't call each other friends.
They don't call each other
We
friends. They
can't
never call
be
each other
friends.
brothers, really. They like I was joking. Again, my husband and his best friends do way more quote unquote gay shit, and it's less gay than what happens between Buck and Eddie.
Yeah.
What Abby reference?
No, he said, I think in last week or the week before or something that he was trying to make an Abby reference and the network nixed it because it was like going to be too confusing or something. This was absolutely like the Abby reference without outright stating the Abby reference, because she says, like, Maddie says, learn the lesson to be alone again. And the time that he learned that was
maybe
that was sorry.
I was just gonna say maybe there was a scene or something. Maybe we did actually see him talking to Bobby, or would have seen him talking to Bobby, and him being like, "Isn't that a little too close?"
No, it's actually he confirmed. He said that it was with Maddie.
With Maddie,
Maddie points it out.
Yeah.
Oh well,
but
yeah,
yeah.
But also the whole the fact that Buck had to learn the lesson of being alone the first time. In season 2 when Eddie was there, but also when Buck finally decided to let Abby go was in 207, which was Haunted, which was when Eddie and Shannon were dealing with their stuff. Like, we met Shannon. I'm just pointing that out for no reason at all. No reason.
Yeah. I don't understand why he would have had to remove it if like I guess the network was like, that's confusing for general audiences.
They're saying he also said it again in a new interview today, so we'll have to take a look at that.
He's like, everyone know that this was there, basically.
Yeah. He's so pleased with himself when he does these little things, and it's
he should be pleased with himself.
He should be, because like, we're pleased when we find it.
Listen, I think I said in our episode that just came out today about episodes 9 and 10 was like, for the buddy stuff, no notes, except, please sir, can I have some more?
I think that's a promo for tomorrow.
Spoilers, I guess.
Oh, that's just literally our whole attitude about Buddie.
Please,
but no, but I meant
have
specifically how he was doing it with all of the callbacks and all of the. It's just so they're doing it so beautifully, and I'm so obsessed with it.
And it's so wonderful.
And the thing is that like, we would take anything and be happy, but like, I just have no complaints about this so far.
I do, again, I've talked about this. I do know people who watch the show very casually. And they they're all like, okay, so when are they gonna kiss?
So
like,
what? Somebody made an edit.
Can you watch the edit?
Well, not an edit. Someone compiled every single time Buck says Eddie's name.
Put it on the screen.
I love Josh, but I don't want. So,
by the way, just FYI, this just so I can credit this person. This is Tilda at on Twitter at Taken by the Empty.
One of ours.
One of ours.
Also, that dusty little Buddy pipeline, real strong.
Brock, I love Josh. I don't want him to be any part of Buck and Eddie's feelings.
No,
ever.
Unless he's gonna do a speech.
Well, but I think no.
No.
She's saying what I have said before, which is while Buck is realizing it, if they have him in his head,
if he replays. Yeah, yes. that for sure. But I don't want another Josh being like, "Hey, remember this?" Like, I don't want another speech.
There's no reason for that.
I could barely.
Does he say it more than we said it? No, there's no way he said it more than we said it in a 3-hour episode.
Wait, what? Okay. What are we talking about?
Remember, Rachel made that cut of us saying every time we said Eddie in our season 2 episode 1.
I will repost it.
I told you we should. This week.
We're gonna watch it. Let's watch this clip.
Eddie, go, Eddie. Eddie.
Hold on.
Eddie.
That's exactly what we said.
That's exactly what we sound like.
That's exactly what we sounded like. If you go to our Instagram and you scroll, and it's like from 201, and we're like, finally, we get to talk about Eddie. I put all, absolutely.
Totally normal behavior. I can't believe anyone. I'm sorry. I cannot believe anyone thinks Ryan Guzman is leaving the show. Because of the storyline. Like,
going anywhere.
Hello.
Okay. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm trying to live my life. I'm a married woman. I did just want to say.
I was like, is that from this episode?
Yes, it's a parallel to whatever.
I did just the way we all just like.
No, I'm a mother.
404.
And you tell me when. Oh, here you guys go.
Oh, there we go. Look at this difference here. Oh, he looks so grossed out. And then what? Like a puppy. The head tilt.
I do have to say, I'm like actually really glad, because I think the one thing that I was kind of like not meh. I kind of was like, Buck has had some sort of like romantic scene with all his, like, most of his other partners that he spent months and months and months with.
Sorry.
Right? So I was like, why didn't they? I was like, does the network really not want to show it because it's 2 men?
I'm sorry.
I didn't even hear what you said. I just tuned you out.
No, I'm so sorry. I just was cackling at why does he have one outfit?
He does have one outfit.
Just the pictures.
That's apparently Buck's type, because Eddie also has one outfit.
Black tank tops is Buck's weakness.
Well, he has black tank tops, and then he has the Henleys.
That's it. Like
Ravi is
made the game.
Ravi's done.
Buck
Ravi,
took his will to live.
So someone pointed, I forgot who, but someone pointed out that in this conversation they're referencing like a game or something. So like maybe Buck and Eddie went to the basketball game, the one that Tommy bought tickets for.
Oh.
I thought they were talking about the game of quarters.
I do not honestly know.
Rin says,
let's watch and listen, and then we can maybe.
I hope this is the full thing. If it's not, we'll find it.
So Eddie pays the tab. We both run out to the parking lot, and there's a boot on my front tire.
Eddie pays the tab.
Sucks. Yeah, so obviously at this point I'm like, we're not gonna make the game. And Eddie goes, "Where is your spare?" And I kid you not, 5 minutes later, the spare is on. We're driving down the road, and the old tire is sitting on the side of the curb, boot still on. Isn't that illegal? What? No, it's not illegal. Eddie would never do something illegal. Eddie has a silver star.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Baby.
Oh my god. Wait. He's so perfect. He has a silver star. He would never do anything like
he's a perfect human being. What do you mean?
He's so smart. He paid the
Was
tab.
he literally in a fighting
ring?
You guys. I'm gonna eat my desk. I can't do this anymore.
Ren said, "Can I share something insane?"
Yes.
Yeah,
always.
The old people call was kind of a reference to one of Oliver's projects called Community.
Oh,
not the show.
The show? No, I hope.
No, he was never in Community.
Interesting.
No, I'm gonna eat my desk hearing about this though, because it's not about
I would like to know more about that.
We don't know what game Buck is referencing. It's just that him and Eddie were playing quarters, and then Eddie decided to take a booted tire off of his car to put a spare tire on, and then they went to the game that they couldn't get parking for, and then they came back.
Yeah, that sounds like they went to the basketball game.
I hate them so much.
Eddie paid the tab.
I hate them so much. I want to die. I'm just trying to live my life and be a normal person, and it's 11:30 p.m.
11:30.
He would never do anything illegal.
Oh,
exactly.
EJ, when Buck said that, we were all like, the illegal fighting ring, and then Robbie said it, and we were like,
so true, King.
Yeah,
so true.
He joined the fight club.
We both run out to the parking lot, and there's
Robbie's so tired. He's so done.
So Eddie pays the tab. We both run out to the parking lot, and there's a boot on my front tire.
I love this story though.
Sucks. Yeah, so
he has been playing quarters for hours.
And Eddie goes, "Where is your spare?" And I kid you not, 5 minutes later, the spare is on. We're driving down the road, and the old tire is sitting on the side of the curb, boot still on. Isn't that illegal?
Robbie
No,
is so
it's not
fucking dumb.
illegal. Eddie would never do something illegal. Eddie has a silver star.
Why are you obsessed with that silver star that he hates that he has?
That was ages ago, and he had a ton of stuff going on.
Oh my god.
Competency.
You guys.
That was ages ago, and he had a ton of stuff going on.
What?
I'm gonna eat my desk. I can't do this anymore. They're too gay. I'm sorry.
It's too much fiber, Meg.
Whoop says, I love that Robbie knows about the Fight Club lore. I do too, because it's people gossip at the 118.
Yeah.
Chimney told him this. I feel like every time someone new joins, Chimney's like, get a load of this.
My favorite
because that's what Chimney did to Eddie.
Like my favorite headcanon is that Robbie thinks Eddie and Buck are just divorced.
Yes.
Like it's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Because,
I actually feel like that's coming true.
Like it's amazing.
I know.
Rock said I want a Robbie Begins. I would also like a Robbie Begins, but they'd have to make him a main to do that.
But Buck's
they will when Buddie goes canon.
Buck's obsession.
They need someone with romantic interests.
Buck's obsession with Eddie this episode is gonna make me crawl out of my own skin. Like this man has not thought or talked about anything other than Eddie since he left.
He's so us coded.
Let me know when I can roll the clip.
Even when he's
ahead,
Tommy, it's Eddie.
Just play it over, Meg.
Yeah, for sure.
Not as much.
You got to learn to just talk over her.
Competition's out of the way.
Okay.
Not as much. No,
That
competition's
flicker
out
like
of
a
the way.
horror movie.
Wait, what do you mean competition? I'm mostly kidding. I'm mostly kidding about what? Never mind. No, hey, I want to know. Come on, competition.
Not him, and he knew he fucked up.
Come on, Evan. Don't make me say it.
Say it out loud.
how we were literally like,
we
say
put
with
that
your
in our
whole
copy.
chest.
We put that in our copy today.
That is
Say it out loud.
Sorry.
I've never
Come on,
won.
Evan, don't make me say it. Wait, Eddie?
Why is there no wine in your wine
Come
rag?
on, Evan, don't make me say it. Wait, Eddie?
Did he say? Did he say Eddie?
Yes. No, wait.
Tommy didn't.
I think the
Tommy
caption.
did
No,
it.
I thought the caption said,
No.
"Hey, wait."
No.
Go back. Go
No,
back.
Tommy
Wait,
did
go
not
back.
say Eddie. Buck
No.
said Eddie. Buck
Yeah,
is the
Buck
one
said
who
Eddie.
brought Eddie up. I'm
Not as
dying.
much.
Go back. Go
Meg.
back.
Now the competition's out of the way.
Wait, what do you mean competition?
I'm mostly kidding.
I'm mostly kidding about what?
Never mind.
No, wait, I want to know. Come on, competition with who?
Come on, Evan, don't make me say it.
Wait, Eddie?
You're living in the guy's house.
What? Okay, this is not his. Wait,
Yeah.
Eddie?
You're living in the guy's house.
What? Okay, this is not his house. He was a renter.
I literally broke all my toes.
This isn't his house. He's a renter. That wasn't the point.
I broke all my toes. Dying. Like, this is too much.
This is a lot.
God.
I'm straight. I'm not supposed to have this much gay angst, you guys.
And he's straight.
The guy's house.
What? Okay, this is not his house.
You
He
can
was a
see.
renter. And he's straight.
How
did we go from-
question?
How
Because
did
I
we
need
go-
to know and feel that you all might have noticed. What's your question?
What is your question before?
Type it while we continue to watch.
Okay, so how do you go from like Eddie's a renter, he's straight, and like, I just
He just keeps having to reminding himself that Eddie is straight. I literally
Jumping
broke.
those hurdles.
oh my
new
god.
Ow.
What's the question?
The new one. What?
If you're expecting me to remember something past 30 seconds ago, I'm so sorry to tell you. But you will have to repeat it to me like I'm 5.
We are goldfish.
I hurt my foot so badly falling.
Look to above.
Okay, back to my original question because I need to know and feel that you all might have noticed. Okay.
I don't see
Hang
you
on.
asking
I'm
a
gonna
question.
give me a second.
You have our undivided attention.
I see you asking Rin a question. I don't have the answer to your question to Rin.
I'm not seeing a question.
So it might have
It'd
been your
be-
question.
It'd be funny if Buck doesn't stop baking until Eddie comes back. That's not a question.
Oh, this is funny though. While we're waiting,
Wasn't he?
wasn't he literally talking about this being Eddie's house earlier in the episode?
Sure was.
Yeah, Buck, you are a loser. You're in love with your best friend. I hurt my foot collapsing on the floor with you and that man. I'm so sorry.
Not
Whoop,
as much.
3. I don't know
No,
what question
competition's
you're
out of the way.
asking. Can you please just retype it?
Wait, what do you mean competition?
I'm mostly kidding.
I'm mostly kidding about what?
Never mind.
No, wait, I want to know. Come on, competition with who?
Come on, Evan, don't make me say it.
He's like, I want to know who else
Wait,
likes
Eddie?
me.
You're living in the guy's
Mhm.
house.
What? Okay,
He-
this
no,
is not his
doesn't
house.
even wanna
He was
know.
a
He
renter.
knows.
And he's straight.
He knows.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't even want to know. He knows that Eddie is his competition.
I don't know, man.
Maybe
It's
not.
what?
Like, maybe
What
he
is
doesn't
It's
know.
really hard for me because
He literally says competition. What, Eddie? Like,
but the way he says it is so playful.
You
The
can't
first time
get really
he
clearer than
asks.
that.
It's really hard for me to get in Buck's headspace for some
Okay.
things because I do nothing but self-reflect. So I have to like normally look at the opposite of like what I would be doing. And then it's like I look at his Leo like rising for like stuff like that. So when he's like being flirty, I'm like, he just wants to like have his ego stroked and be like, who else do you think likes me? Who do you think is in competition? Like that's what I'm seeing.
Tell me I'm pretty.
And then after this is when he's like, oh, that's what you mean.
I don't necessarily.
This was not silly goofy.
Hang on, I'm reading.
Now it's not. The first one was when he was like, no, tell me.
Yeah, Eddie's coming back and Buck doesn't know it. Yep, that's for sure.
Are you still trying to find this question?
I am, because there's been a lot more comments since then.
Yeah, whoop, I'm so sorry. You're just gonna have to retype it.
I asked, and the old people call was kind of a reference to one of Oliver's projects called Community.
that's what Rin said. And then I see asking Rin a question, but I can't answer the question because Rin was the one who had that info, not me.
Yeah. And then back to my original question, because I need to know and feel that you all might have noticed. The new one.
Notice what?
Yeah. Look 2 above.
It's okay. Whoop can retype it.
It's fine.
Because we're not gonna find it.
Yeah. It's too much.
Wait, Eddie?
You're
living in the guy's house. What? Okay, this is not his house. He was a renter, and he's straight. Okay. You know, I don't have to want to sleep with everyone. What does that have to do with anything? And I don't have to have feelings for everyone I sleep with.
Like, okay.
So true,
I'm sorry.
That is a really awful thing to say.
I love it.
The Eddie of it all aside, fucking kudos to Buck.
Yeah.
Like, the Eddie of all of it aside, Buck is correct. He does not have to have feelings for everyone he sleeps for. He doesn't have to have feelings for everyone he sleeps with. Like, good for you. We all know, however, that this means that Buck is like,
stand by that. True.
I have feelings for Eddie, but I'm not going to sleep with him because he's not into dudes. But he's not ready for that. Like, he's not prepared. But good for him. I love that. I love that for him standing up to Tommy for that, because Tommy is being kind of a bitch
he is a bitch. He is an asshole.
He's a dick. Like, everything he does is dick as shit, but this is self-serving for us buddies, so I'm okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Rock, he really triggered Buck when he said, yeah, okay, at the Eddie straight thing, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love Miko.
Wait, what?
That was the video is on Miko's account, and he called him Tartar. He always has a different name for
Miko is so goddamn. Miko is so nice, so fucking funny.
I
love him so much. Yeah, I'm not thrilled when anyone calls him Evan because it's not the name that he likes.
No one gets to call him Evan except for Maddie.
Or Eddie.
Eddie, but Eddie knows when to pull it out.
Only in very serious situations.
Yeah, but that's so interesting though, right? Because like when he left the first time and he's like, goodbye, Buck, and it was supposed to be like the closed door, and then here he is just like begging for seconds pretty much and calling him Evan again. Like,
it's because he's a horny old goat. He's a horny old goat. And if you were a horny old goat and you had someone like ready to fuck you, you would say, okay. Right? I'm sorry. He's a goat. He's always been a goat to me. I'm sorry. I always imagined him as literally a goat.
Oh my
God.
Han, I love your frames.
What?
I love your frames.
Oh, thank you. They're gay.
Makes sense.
Ryle says, I think Invisible will be a Robbie Begins episode. I don't think there's a chance of that.
I would love to see it. I don't think it's happening yet.
Hang on. What if Invisible is the rest of the 118?
I would fucking love that, to be
Wouldn't
honest.
That be
but
amazing? I don't think it will be, but
like they're invisible to Buck.
They're invisible to all of us.
No,
because
no, you know how we keep saying we
want
the outside point of view from everyone else. who works there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, shut up.
Okay. Still stop making me horny on Maine.
No, but look at this.
No, it's the parallel. It's the
parallel.
No,
I know. I stand by what I said.
Yes, we know they sleep on opposite sides of the bed.
I'm gonna eat these cans. Like, I'm having a hard time.
Are you drinking water also?
Sure. I'm just a girl, okay?
I know. I think since the girl has to work in the morning, that she should also
Me
be drinking
too.
water. Yeah.
I do
maybe
have
some water.
I do have water.
It is.
Don't worry.
It is 12:40.
Water yourself.
Or
the girlies have to work.
Kenny, Meg has been drinking. She has to work in the morning, so I'm just telling her to drink some water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's March Madness. I work at 6 a.m. It's fine.
Oh my god.
It's not the first time. Won't be the last time. Next week, I feel like will be very similar.
Ooh.
So we start the episode with Buck not being able to sleep there because he doesn't want to accept that Chris and Eddie are gone. And then at the end, he moves in and puts everything in its own place that he decides. So this is them telling us that he has accepted that, like, fully. I know Tim said it in an interview, but this is them actually
like he's working on being alone,
showing us that. Yeah. I would really actually love to see Buck be able to like be happy being alone, because he never has been. And just in general, I think all Libra sons need to figure out how to be happy single before they find their forever home.
Our poor baby boy.
Someone special that the universe is going to give them.
I think the universe will send you someone special. You didn't say the most special person.
Stop. It's so cute. Yeah, this is... And, like, I know we didn't talk about, like, the Bobby stuff. That was so interesting. I can't wait to delve into it, like, more with brain cells. And also look at the parallels that we're going to see with
with Eddie's
mom. I'm so stoked for that.
We're gonna see parallels with him and his mom, and also the religious
stuff. Yeah.
Stuff. I am, however, nervous.
In a
Are
good
you
way
worried he's gonna? No. Are you worried he's gonna forgive her?
I know he's going to.
I know, and I hate it so much.
I hate it. I need them to write someone.
However,
they may
a blood family member out of their fucking lives.
However, we also forgive our parents of a lot of shit that they may not be deserving of.
But not to the extent that everyone on this show has. Like, I think that's the most unrealistic part of this show. Not one of them with the worst parents ever has gone no contact.
So where I joke about the rookie is, like, the most unrealistic part of the rookie is that the cops actually give a shit if they break the law.
Unfortunately, I have to say
like if they go down the route of, like, forgiveness and everything, like, because
I think
we just saw it with Bobby and his mom, so they could either do the same thing or they could subvert it because they've just set that up.
But I always thought that they were going to.
Yeah, or they could do it in the way that Buck forgave his parents because he just didn't care enough about them anymore to be angry at them.
I feel like with Athena and Bobby, there's a big difference in forgiving your parents versus someone like Eddie or Buck, or
like a generational thing.
And then Chim, it's a generational thing. I feel like with Athena and Bobby, they are at an age and at a part in the place in their life where not forgiving doesn't serve them.
Right.
It doesn't do anything for them. And I feel like this is
also a generational thing.
It is generational. And I think it's something that, but I also think it's universal in that every generation comes to a point where, okay, it's not worth it anymore. It's more work to hold on to this pain, like for myself, than it is to just.
But it's possible to forgive people and go into contact with them. So,
for sure.
What are you trying to say?
No, I was just I was just gonna say, because like I think I do have a like how do I say this without something crazy? I don't know. Like I feel like I do have I do kind of understand maybe where Eddie is coming from if he does forgive his parents. Because I not only do I think it might be a generational thing, it could also be a cultural thing.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Culturally, we are big on family.
Yeah.
So he can probably put up some boundaries, maybe, because I can do boundaries. But I don't think I can go no contact with certain members of my family. And I have had parents. Well, I don't know why I'm saying plural, but I've had those kinds of issues.
Yeah,
parental issues where even if they treated me so badly, I've never gone completely no contact with them.
Yeah.
Right. No, I absolutely that honestly, Eddie going no contact with his parents is one of the least realistic things I see in fics because of that. Because I also think it's not even just a Hispanic or Latino thing. I feel like any family who has deep generational ties to their roots, your family and your generational ties are so deeply enrooted in who you are, and to separate yourself from that is to basically tear yourself away from your entire identity, from what you grew up with.
Yeah,
that it's really hard to do that. And that's one of the things where it's and Eddie Diaz, so Eddie is a Mexican American, but it's not necessarily any different from a Orthodox Catholic Irish American or a deeply rooted German American whose their identity is very embedded in where they come from, to separate themselves from that. Because it's not just saying, I don't agree with you, my parents. It's, in their mind, a rejection of their whole way of life.
I don't want to rag on, I don't know, I guess Americans. I don't know. I am one.
I mean, I as American, go ahead. You can rag on us because I agree most of the time.
Well, yeah, no, I just feel like I just feel like when you're looking at these two different cultures, I just feel like one is more independent, has wanted to once they're 18, they want to leave type of thing. But here, culturally, especially with Latinos and Hispanics and whatever, you're always involved with the family, always.
For sure.
Multiple generations living in one household, and not as a because they need to, because that's just normal.
It's just what they do.
Yeah. So my aunt is from Mexico, and I went to visit her, her family, when I was 16. So it's been a while. But when I went to visit her family, it was her parents, her older brothers who weren't married, her sisters who weren't married, and everything. And they all lived together in a house. And it was a multi-generational home.
Yeah.
And that was so different than what we have in America, because in America, it's very much you turn 18, you are
nuclear
out,
family.
you're done. You are out of the house. We wash our hands of you. You are no longer a part of the family. In some senses.
Yeah, and it's expected you need to find a job and move out.
and
right?
figure stuff out.
Or even like if you like run into hard times, then you move back home. There's still like you need to get another job and move back out, right?
But also like parents who can no longer take care of themselves. Your parents aren't moving back in with you. You're gonna put those parents in a home.
My family is. Because I grew up. The first 10 years of my life was with my bubby, my grandma, my dad's mom, basically like in stage 3 and 4 terminal cancer, and like living with us.
Well,
so
and I come from this speaking from someone who I built an apartment onto.
Yeah, I know that's not normal though.
Yeah. I built an apartment onto my house for my mother-in-law to live in until she can no longer live in our house. So
it's not normal for Americans.
It's absolutely not normal.
Yeah. No, I guess I never think about that. I think, and it's not even like specifically Eddie's parents that I think are the worst parents.
They are terrible parents.
I think the Buckleys should be the ones that like get cut off.
Yeah.
No, it'd be so easy because they don't have a relationship with them. But it's like, and Buck only even has the amount of relationship he does is because Maddie wants it. And I just like, I don't know. I understand her motivations and I understand that she's, but I don't get that reasoning.
I get Maddie's reasoning more than I get the idea of allowing the Diaz's back into the family, because the Diaz's broke the familial code. They are grandparents who tried to take away and break the familial bonds between their son and his son. And that breaks the whole cultural and familial norms of the family.
I really hope that we see.
I feel like we're definitely going to see a confrontation. We're going to see it, and it's going to be it's going, and I think it's going to be big. But there is, but again,
also it's midnight. Sorry,
it's midnight for you. Then it's 1 a.m. for me. Almost 1 a.m. So I think God, what was I saying?
I see how this happens.
You were talking about the big confrontation.
Yeah, but I think for Christopher, and also for Christopher's sake, because like they're not gonna want, they don't want no contact with. Well, Christopher might not want no contact with his grandparents. They're still going to have some kind of contact. Like Eddie can't go zero. Like I don't think he can.
No, I don't know that I ever really
culturally,
thought that he would, like,
or
I feel like Eddie has been as close to zero as he could be this whole time,
just by being in a.
No, they started rolling that back in season 5.
Like he's had some conversations. I like seeing his conversations with his dad. I like kind of
You too.
But I'm saying they started rolling it back, and so what I would like to see, hopefully, is after that confrontation, is him drawing hard boundaries in a way that's like, this isn't me saying this is how I would like things to be. In a this is how it is going to be, because I am Christopher's father, and also
this is the least realistic thing.
You don't have to respect me as his father, but you need to like respect me as your son or a person.
No, that's
like you need to like. He has to draw boundaries for himself too, not just
No, I think he will.
Father.
Okay, so I think he will. I don't think that will matter to his parents. And also, I think it would be a verse of, you don't have to respect these boundaries for me as your son, but you need to respect them for your grandson, because his parents don't care about his boundaries or thoughts or feelings or anything about Eddie at all.
Well, sure, but I'm saying he has to draw a boundary in a way that a boundary is supposed to be drawn, which is, here's the boundary.
Yes.
If you cross it,
do not
you're
cross
done.
this line.
Yes, I agree. I will. My ideal world is Eddie has a full-blown knockdown, drag-out fight with his parents about how awful and manipulative they have been.
Preferable.
Not just these past few months with Christopher, but forever. How they've never. Eddie was never their son. Like they never cared about him like their child. it was his sisters and then his son, and Eddie was just there in the middle of it to take any brunt or any blame or any responsibility.
Yep.
Rock said, I wonder, are they ever going to touch how Buck's parents took him being bisexual? I hope not. I hope I never see them again.
I don't think they know or need to know, or
I mean, they made a face.
They do know. We do know.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Maddie's wedding knows.
I forgot about that.
I love the actors who play his parents.
Oh, they're fantastic.
You can't keep doing this.
However, I hate Buck's parents.
Whoop.
What do you mean I can't?
No, Whoop says earth-shattering question, points down. There's no question. I don't know if it's getting eaten or what. Yeah. We would love to answer your question if we could see it.
If it's earth-shattering, I definitely want to know.
Why don't you, like,
and
DM
if we can't see it here, like...
Oh, no. Eddie has massive abandonment issues with his parents. Eddie has massive issues with the fact that he was told to be a man at 10 years old.
Yeah, he never got to be a kid.
And no 10-year-old should be told that. He was a baby taking care of babies. And he has never, and that's why it makes me so excited at the prospect of him picking Buck and him chasing and choosing Buck. Not because of some punitive thing, because Eddie hasn't been quote unquote good enough to Buck. It's because Buck deserves to be chosen. Buck deserves to have someone who just picks him and wants him and loves him no matter what. But also, Eddie deserves to pick something. He deserves to choose joy. He deserves to choose joy and love and beauty in his life, and that is all wrapped into Buck. And Eddie deserves that. Well, it
comes back to you don't think you deserve forgiveness or joy.
Exactly.
So if he believes he deserves joy, what is his joy?
Yeah. And Eddie deserves that just as much as Buck does. And there are a lot of Eddie haters out there that I see, which irritates the shit out of me. But Eddie deserves joy and love. He deserves to choose his own happiness and his own destiny just as much as anybody else. And I hate seeing the hate that Eddie gets, because I don't even know why. But he doesn't have to chase and beg Buck for forgiveness for what? A wrong that he never did. He went after his
for what?
He went after
father?
Because he went after his son. He went after his son, and Buck would never forgive him if Eddie didn't go to
Buck
take care of his son.
That.
Exactly.
Buck understands that, and he respects it, which is, I think, the most important part. Yeah. Because Eddie hasn't gotten a lot of respect from those people like that, like his parents.
One of the biggest things, that made Buck fall in love with Eddie is how much Eddie shows up for Christopher, how much he loves Christopher.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff from Rock, but nothing from Womp.
I don't know why it keeps eating Womp's question, but it seems
just DM us. We'll get to it. One of us will find it.
Can we rejoice in the Buck and Tommy's fans losing tonight? Listen, I don't really want to, because I don't really like ship wars. I don't like how nasty they are. I don't like harassment coming from any ship. Do I ship that? No, I don't. We're very much ship let ship here.
For sure.
Do I think
that it would be hypocritical of us otherwise? Yeah.
Exactly. Do we poke fun at the idea of Buck Tommy? Absolutely, because he's a plot device, but we're not specifically making fun of them.
DM'd us on TikTok, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'll look at it. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think that they're going to take this as a win, first of all. And that's great. They can go off. They can write their fan fiction. I think they're going to be really upset when it continues to not be a win.
I love Tommy coming back as a plot device, because it was exactly what I thought and what I wanted Tommy ever coming back for.
Yeah, he fulfilled his job.
He did his job.
He had a job. He did it.
I do not care one way or another that him and Buck fucked before, after, or in the middle of him bringing to Buck's attention that Buck's whole thing was mostly about Eddie. And that's what he did. That was his whole purpose of that situation.
Can you read this?
What?
I'm gonna...
No.
Buck and that guy had sex on Eddie's mattress, or did Buck put in the new one?
He put in...
It was the new one.
It was the new one.
It was
the new one.
It was the new one because they showed that at the beginning of the episode.
No, wait.
No,
yeah, it is.
No.
It is unserious, but it's the new one.
Was it?
Pretty sure.
Unless the mattress was on the floor.
Either way.
Wait.
Why wouldn't Eddie take his mattress?
I think he moved it. I think he moved it like that.
Yeah, I don't. If Eddie took the couch,
if he took
absolutely took his mattresses. Those things are not cheap, and he's broke.
Yes, we can assume that was the mattress, but
no, it's narratively.
Oh God, she's
Girl, you frozen.
Go ahead.
It's narratively what?
What? No. Tell me when you can see me.
Okay, yes, there you are spinning. I see you.
Hello. Okay. No. See me, Norman. Oh.
No, we're past. Oh God, she's gone again.
And for a future reference, it might be filtering things that have the word "fuck" in it. Have sex, yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What I was gonna say,
and not you being
back. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I was just gonna say at the very beginning of the episode, they had the movers drop the mattress on the ground, like not actually move it to the room with Buck, and that was the narrative device to like kind of foreshadow what he and Tommy were going to do. So it was like pretty definitively like his bed.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, so I have nothing against Buck and Tommy for what they are. And that was kind of my whole process with Tommy coming in the picture. And if that's the stuff that it takes for Buck to realize he's in love with Eddie, fine. Let him fuck around with Tommy and stuff like that. I love that Tommy is the one who's like, why am I here fucking you in your ex-husband's house? Like, I love that Tommy's the one who's like, this is not normal. Whatever is happening here is not the usual.
I found the clip too. If we want to watch that,
yes,
I don't know if we
want
to.
Go for it.
Always, because it's always about Eddie. Everything about Buck and Tommy is about Eddie.
Also, we're about Eddie.
Everything.
It's always about Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Keep talking while I try to set this up because
I can always
about Buck and Eddie
talking.
Yeah, we can make anything circle back to Eddie.
Buck and Tommy had no chemistry. Right, I kind of agree with that. I feel like this episode they had a bit of
the
chemistry.
most that we've seen.
They did,
busting around in the hallways when they're just shadows and we don't see who anyone is of anyone.
Oh my God,
that was smart. That was smart acting and blocking.
But it's not even anti-Tommy. It's just It's just not.
And that's not even just like some actors don't have good chemistry. That's
fine.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not against Tommy in principle.
You got a new place? Yeah, I did. You want to see it? Is this Eddie's place?
Did they even fuck?
Subletting. Well, I love your drama.
Oh my God, not by hand on the belt.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. No, he's doing the same thing. That's how he flirts.
Yeah, we've been new.
You got a new place? Yeah, I did.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is the hottest that they have ever been. This is the most chemistry. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
But they're in shadow for like.
Yeah. Oh no. I for sure. Like, I understand. Like, it's not coincidental.
But yeah. No. I mean,
the hottest they've been is that I didn't see any of them.
They have the most chemistry in the episode where they have the most awkward
aftermath.
Angry. Yeah, I don't know.
And
Love
the
to see it.
And the most enlightening.
But also it was just like really smart directing.
No, it was so good. I think Aisha okay. Aisha did a fantastic job in this whole episode. I loved.
She deserves so many flowers. Let us know where we can address your edible arrangement to.
Send the flowers. Please.
All right.
I have
guys.
so many feelings.
I think it's time.
It's 1:04.
It is time.
My time. It is time.
It is time. I have to work in 6 hours.
I'm starving. I need to eat something.
Oh no.
I'm going off of like 3 hours of sleep.
Oh no.
Well,
I'm doing so great,
Hannah,
guys.
Message me tomorrow about when you want to rewatch and dissect like normal people.
Yes, like totally normal, chill, general audience members. I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry I attacked your live react. Not really. I'm not sorry at all.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Thank you for joining us, and thank all of you for joining our crash out. We will have another one next week, I am so sure. And
so excited.
I'm so excited for next week. Am I just gonna be more? Are we gonna be more excited every single week? Like, are we just gonna keep winning?
Are you guys gonna just let me like glom onto you every week from now until the end of the season? Because I feel like every week is getting more and more ridiculously gay.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
and I'm just dying every second.
We see that. We've seen that with our eyes now.
I'm just trying to live my life.
Rock said, I need Buddy Kiss before the summer so I can have a good summer. I'm so sorry that is not happening, Rock.
No.
So please manage your expectations. Yeah. We're going to get a lot of good stuff.
I doubt that's going to happen. Just let your imagination go wild.
And just think of it this way. If they did kiss before the end of the season, it'd be at the very end of the season. We'd miss the whole beginning of the relationship.
So, Rock.
And we don't want that.
Rock, what I think we should hope for is 2 feeling realizations and thinking the other one doesn't want the other one. That's what we want. Is some misrepresented.
That's the furthest we get.
We want some pining. We want some pain.
Yes. What did Oliver say? It's about
yearning.
Slow burn.
Because he's a girly who gets it.
We want to yearn, and 7 years doesn't count if they don't know it.
Yes, it's a slow burn, but it's not a slow burn for the characters until they're aware.
Until they know.
No.
So
they have to be aware.
As long as we know that they're into each other.
Yeah.
It's canon.
It's just juicier that way.
What gets it? It would be a good cliffhanger. It'd be a great cliffhanger, an emotional cliffhanger, you know? Which is the only kind of cliffhanger they really do. So
that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, we will see you with Meg at least next week. She will be here next week.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, y'all.
I love you all. A happy Buddy going joining us. Canon part whatever we're on now.
18 at least.
Step whatever. Step 3, profit.
Good night.
End live.
Bye guys.
Do this 4 times. End live. End live. Sounds like